and you're in the Desert Storm bunker with Hollywood CGA.
Legends ain't born, they built from the grind. From benches to banners, we sharpen the mind. We sharpen the sword and promise and swore that we going hard and leaving it all on the floor. Hey, yeah, we going hard and leaving it all on the floor. Hey, yeah, we going hard and leaving it all on the floor. Legends ain't born, they built from the grind. From benches to banners, we sharpen the mind. We sharpen the sword and promise and swore that we going hard and leaving it all on the floor.
What's going on, everybody? It is Coach Greg Adams back in here with another YouTube live stream. Shout out to the Coach Gang.
And that's you.
For being in here, being involved, and being active on this YouTube channel. And welcome back to the Unstoppable, the Boss Up Show, part of the Free Agent Lifestyle Podcast here on the Free Agent Lifestyle channel. You in here with the Bruce Wayne to this ish. The King of Kings, the King of Content, and the Speaker of Truth, yours truly, the Notorious One, a.k.a. Mr. Coachellini, better known as the Prognosticator, Coach Stradamus. And you're in Pattaya, Thailand, with none other than EWF. That is every woman's fantasy, every lingling's fantasy, and the whole fucking show. I'm the CEO, Nigero, of Fixes Binds LLC, the unbinder, the undebatable, the undisputed best entertainment here on YouTube. You can call me Senor Gregorio Graybeard. The ladies love to call me Mr. Third
Your
Leg
third leg
Greg.
was just phenomenal.
Also, the man with one trabajo, that is the Mitch Slapper. Ecclesiastically, you're looking at the anointed one.
Acknowledge me.
The founding father of the After Pill, the junior college sociologist, the Morpheus of the mating matrix, the chocolated Confucius, the Black Moses, the deliverer, also known as the man that walks in the spirit of Elijah. I'm the man with more nicknames than anyone in the game, but in case you forget those names, just call me CGA. That is C, God Allah, and I be the 14-time demonetized champion of YouTube. We are in the kingdom of Thailand, and we're having a good old time. I'm having a party. And as you can see, I'm in the gentleman's lair. All right, I know I look a little bit shorter in here in this particular camera view, but I could fix that, possibly, just a little bit. I can fix it just a little bit. Let me see if I can prop that up just a little bit, maybe in the back. Pause, that's what he said. All right, that's what she said. All right, there you go right there. All right, we got a great show for you lined up today. Today, we're going to talk about why the rapper The Game and other men are saying that women should deserve at least $5,000 a month in allowance, aka the monetized dating marketplace. And this is a subject matter that I cover quite a bit because a lot of men don't realize that women require maintenance. Now, a lot of guys also believe that women should pay up their 50% since they're equal in the relationship. And some men also still believe that the woman should be paying them, all right, based on their own sexual performance. But The Game details, goes line by line, what the items that he would be covering, why he feels that he needs to cover for those particular items. And this goes along with a show that I've actually gone on to tell you about what women require in terms of maintenance in dating and relationships. This is, of course, in the United States. And we're going to see if this lines up. We also have another man that says why the bare minimum is $5,000 a month for a girlfriend in his allowance. We're going to show you this real quick. And the reason why we're covering this is because we're approaching the 12 Cents of Cheesemith episode. And maybe possibly The Game could sneak in there. You're going to go ahead and vote on this one later on in the show, possibly. But we're going to talk about why dating has become particularly monetized overtly. And now you're seeing even this is another form of it. As much as you guys want to argue with me, this is, another form of the dating marketplace becoming back and returning back to the overt monetization process, especially for highly attractive women. I know you're going to tell me about some strag, all right, but especially for highly attractive women. So we're going to cover that and much, much more. But to contribute to today's show, it is $, the Notorious CGA. I'm back on the Cash App. Venmo, Coach Greg Adams TV. PayPal is paypal.me/Coach Greg Adams. And that is near the top of the description box on the Free Agent Lifestyle channel. And you can super chat by clicking the link on the top of the live chat on the Free Agent Lifestyle channel. And it's still there. All right. The link is still there. Hopefully you guys have had a great time. I've had a great time having a party on my vacation. And boy, I'm going to tell you, man, today I was worn out. You know, I do know that this is a very long vacation. It's a 7-week, almost a 7-week vacation that I've given myself for working hard all year long in the land of the ling.
What kind of fuck you give me?
All right, in the land of the lings. And some people really don't even know what lings are. All right, I know that some people are casual followers of CGA. All right, I had a couple people reach out. What are lings? I'm like, man.
What kind of fuck you give me?
Okay, I realize that sometimes the conversation, the commentary is not transferable. Not everybody's able to pick up on my slang and lingo. I actually had a person, a woman that said she used to watch me, but she spoke English as a third language. And she said, yeah, I watch you, but it's hard to understand what you're talking about, right, all the time. And I said, what do you mean? And I'm like, what do you mean it's hard to understand what I'm talking about? I had to hit her with this real quick because I think I'm talking regular English. And she said,
what that mean?
That's actually what I had to ask her.
What that mean?
And she said, it's hard to understand what you're talking about because you speak in so much coded language. And I was like, I do speak in coded language.
What that mean?
I had to listen to, I don't listen to myself too much, but I had to listen to kind of the commentary that I have sometimes. And then she basically was like, yeah, you're saying things that I don't mean, I don't understand, like a ling. All right. If I say ling, she's like, what's a ling? You know, you got to have a dictionary listening to me because I have so much coded language.
What that mean?
And that's the reason why sometimes it's hard to listen to me, because if you're new, you're trying to fill out like JUCO. All right. Oh, go to the JUCO. Go to the JUCO. Where if you're new, you don't understand what the JUCO is. Now, somebody just mentioned this is when I started doing YouTube, I was monetized, believe it or not.
What that mean?
All right. I was monetized. So part of my monetization, you know, monkey double backflips. Part of my monetization was to follow the YouTube guidelines to keep my monetization money. This was before I was demonetized 14 times. And because of that, I had to speak in code, right? This is when I was trying to dodge the YouTube. Now I don't care. All right. I don't care. I've been demonetized so many times. I'm like, YouTube, I'm going to still make some money from this. Fuck it. All right. I didn't used to curse. All right. I didn't used to curse. So there was a whole bunch of things that I would say in replacements for the curse. Like I would say baloney pony. Who remembers baloney pony? This is going back to 2021. So I would say baloney pony. I would say, you know, stuff like this. So yeah, if you're watching me and you're hearing baloney pony, monkey double backflip, JUCO, wings, yeah, you're confused, especially if English is not your first language. And since I was demonetized, I said, well, fuck it. All right. What's the point of dodging the censors at this particular point? All right. So now I'm just all out. It's an all-out assault on the English language. All right. I'm holding nothing back. The only thing I don't talk about is them Kanye-isms. And speaking of Kanye, where's Kanye at? All right. And of course, the soundboard. A lot of people don't. Dude, somebody told me yesterday in the money mindset. Shout out to this guy. He said, I just figured out where you got the funk of 40,000 years. Yeah, peace leave is another one. Peace leave. I used to say peace leave. I didn't used to say pussy. I used to say peace leave. So, and a lot of these in the Urban Dictionary. All right, I'm Urban Dictionaryable. You can look me up on the internet. All right, I've taken over the internet. How's your YouTube without me, by the way? Anyway, I had a guy yesterday that said he just figured out where I got the phrase, the funk of 40,000 years. Now imagine that. Imagine that. I mean, you know, you're watching me and you're just not picking up on the lingo and figuring out where I'm getting things. And I know we have a young audience. Not everybody grew up on Michael Jackson. So the funk of 40,000 years is definitely a Michael Jackson phrase. It's the Vincent Price at the end of the song, the funk of 40,000 years. All right. So, but I've been saying that since, you know, 2019, 2020. And for that guy, he was like, I just figured it out. I was at a party and they were playing the Thriller song. So again, this is sometimes I get it. You're new here. And plus, this is a long podcast, so not everybody watches the whole thing. Shout out to the people who watches the whole thing. And how's your YouTube been without your boy Notorious CGA? All right, but Kanye West, where's Kanye at? I don't know if I have his sound effect here. I haven't played it in a long time. Oh,
I'm not going to say what race, what people. We know I can't say that.
All right, Kanye West. A lot of people don't even know what that's referencing. They don't know.
I'm not going to say what race, what people. We know I can't say that.
All right. Somebody says, I didn't realize it until last Halloween. Yeah. Duke Shooter, Puller Intruder, Lily Lint Liquor. All right. I got my own language, so I could get why people have trouble listening to me for the verse. I'm like, what is this nigga talking about? All right, but some people don't even know what this is.
I'm not going to say what race, what people. We know I can't say that.
All right, speaking of, shout out to everybody in Australia. All right, I was in Australia less than 2 weeks ago at the exact same beach that the shooting happened over there. And that is crazy, man. I'm going to tell you, man. Japan had an earthquake right before I went. Thailand had a flood right before I came. And Australia had the whole Bondi Beach shooting a week or so after I was there. All right, so let me see if I can pull that up. I don't even know if I could do. Okay, so here it is right here. Just though for the people who have evidence. I don't know if my internet's working very well here, but I was just at Bondi Beach 2 weeks ago. All right, and then I woke up to the news that they had a mass shooting in Australia. And that's me at Bondi Beach less than 2 weeks ago. What does it say right there? I'm not sure what it says. But yeah, I was just there. So it's like, whoa. All right, to imagine the shooting happen. I can't show the shooting on the tube here, but you guys have seen all of these imageries and videos here of the two shooters, one getting deleted in real time. All right, it's hard to imagine that these men had guns in Australia because Australia had given up their guns not too long ago as a group, as a citizenry. And of course, this is surrounding a Holocaust celebration, or not Holocaust celebration. I got that wrong. A Hanukkah celebration. And then you have this mass shooting here related to that. Now, I don't care about the politics and all of that related to it. I just was worried about the proximity.
I'm not going to say what race, what people. We know I can't say that.
The proximity of it. So I was very, the proximal to that particular location. I was just there. So it's interesting to see that happen. And it was like, oh man, otherwise I would have not known anything about that location. But I was just there a few weeks ago, traveling, starting my Ling tour. Does anybody not know what a Ling is at this particular point? I don't know how people can't put two and two together, but I can't expect everybody to understand everything that I say. I cannot have that. So I get it, man. Anybody under, I call them Ling Lings typically, but sometimes I might refer to them as a Ling. Okay. But I've had several people in comment sections. Somebody sent me a DM. What's a Ling?
What kind of fuck you give me?
Okay, I'm in Asia. So I'm enjoying the Lings. Nobody knows? Okay, anyway, I don't know what's going on here. All right. Yes, I shouldn't have to explain things, but sometimes I think when they ask me that, they're trying to trap me. I don't know what's going on. All right. So with that being said, let's get to the earlier contributors to today's show. Is if I can get my screen up. Shout out to you guys, man. I know I've been missing in action seemingly, and I've been making YouTube the most boring experience of all time. All right. I know people are like, CGA ain't shit. All right. And then I don't show up. They're like, damn, what am I going to actually watch? What have you been watching in my place? Name some content creators that have been better than me, better than your boy. You guys realize how much content I put out on this particular platform when I'm missing. Somebody says, am I in Indonesia? Read the bottom of the screen. Right here. The bottom of the screen tells you exactly where I am. Oh my goodness. Let's see what we got right here. I try to make things easy for you, but come on, man. Sometimes it's like pulling teeth. It's like leading a horse to water. All right, what do we got going on here? All right, I don't know if there's anybody that's contributed to today's show this early in the morning. I have no idea. It's 8 o'clock. You guys aren't used to watching me, but yep, let me see. The cupboards are bare. With that being said, let me see if I can pull up any possible things here. We almost got 1,000 people in here. I know it's been a long time. It's not normal, and I'm not in my normal setting. Okay, I'm refreshing the screen. Give me a second here. It's one computer show today. All right, let's see. All right, come on, pull it up. All right, we got our brother here, Hustle Every Day. Says, Niggy News Update. The CDC says beware of holiday heart. This is the onset of stress of the holidays. Also, the measles are back, and the jibbity jab will be given to certain groups of minority for their health concerns. All right, shout out to the CDC making it aware. All right, holiday heart. This is onset of stress of the holidays. Who's going on? Who's having an issue with the holidays going up? You guys having financial issues, possibly, or issues with family? People are wondering your family. All right, you still got to remember, man, me traveling as a solo man, it's not the norm. All right, people, even men are like, you're traveling for the holidays by yourself? Okay, I had a young man and a father. Shout out to the white men out here, boy. You know, I know I'm jumping around, but white dudes here, I got to tell you about Pattaya, Thailand. All right, because you hear a lot about that, especially black men. You've been told about this place over the last few years on the internet, and black men have been traveling a lot more. The dynamics of the, you know, just curiously, from what I've seen here in all of these areas, there's not a lot of black men that travel. Let's just say that, especially black American men. There's not a lot of black American men that travel. So the idea is, and there's a lot of people putting forth great efforts to demonstrate traveling to black men, and black men do travel, but it's sparse, especially in areas of the lanes. It's very, very sparse. The Thailand is highly dominated by European men. All right, and older European men, white American men, expatriates, Russians, okay, all the way up to men from Holland. Yes, we said Holland. All right, or you guys know it as the nether regions, if you will. But or especially over the last couple of decades, there's a lot of mixed children here. You can see a lot of mixed teenagers, a lot of mixed young people in their 20s, especially the women, but there's a lot of young men that are mixed. You can see that they're not full Thai. They're white, European, and Thai. And they're particularly stuck here because a lot of men over the last 30 years have came down here and knocked up a lot of Thai women. Okay, knocked up. There was a whole white dude in here. He was with his son, and his son was somewhere in his late 20s, early 30s, and the father was definitely all of 70, into his 70s, and handsome dude, pause. But yeah, you know, you could tell he came down here within the last 20, 30 years, 40 years ago, and was knocking up. All right, and like the white man has done, the colonizers was knocking up these Thai women and leaving a lot of, even some of the women that work in some of the go-go bars and on Soy 6, you can tell they're mixed with white. But yeah, man, it's an interesting dynamic here. But yes, white men, there's very few black men here. They're here. I'm not trying to take it away. I met a couple of brothers here. They're here, but you know, the Indians themselves, they're sand niggies. The sand niggies are down here just deep, just pre. All right, that's deep. The sand niggies are down here, bro. All right, and they travel in packs, and they are the biggest, craziest. They act the craziest out here. And Middle Eastern men are down here as well as families. It's felt as well as the family. So this is a family destination, and it's not just a house of horror. It's not a place of debauchery, although it's completely available and right in front of your face. There's a lot of families here. There's a lot of families with young children. There's a lot of family with adult children, and you can see them walking through Soy 6. You can see them walking down in the walking street in the areas where the go-go bars are and the nightclubs. You can see them walking down the beach area where all the hoes are at. So it's not just men looking for a place to let off their jammies, okay, and whatnot. But it's a place, it's a family destination. There's a lot of families in my hotel, and there's a lot of dudes out here getting their meat fixed. And I would just say, man, if I'm a family guy traveling here, boy, this would be the worst place to travel. If I'm a husband, this is the last place I want to go. All right. I'm a husband with my wife. You know, I see a lot of families. Okay. I see a lot of older people with their wives here. Oh, not me. Not I. All right, says the fly. There ain't no way I'm coming down here as a married man. There ain't no way I'm walking down Walking Street with my wife. All right, that would be like, oh, I mean, that's a root canal. That's painful. That is painful as hell, but I'm glad I was able to explore it. There's a lot of great things that happened here. And of course, man, tonight, I took the night off. I took the night off because I'm supposed to be, I went on a couple of excursions and then I had some fun. And I said, tonight, I got to take the night off so I can make it through the rest of the trip here. I'm still here for another 5 days. So I'm going to take it easy tonight. It's almost midnight here. And as you can see, I'm in the gentleman's lair, this wonderful suite that I'm in. And the suite has been active. The suite has been active. The lings have been taking care of me, and I've been taking care of the lings. And it's a wonderful thing. But if you want to learn more about that, we still owe you a JUCO stream, which I might get in here later on in the day. But yeah, maybe tonight's time here, which would be tonight your time. But yeah, there's Pattaya, Thailand right behind you. All right, but it's more than just Soy Six and more than just Walking Street. It's a lot else going on here. And if you want to know more, check out my Instagram story. All right, we got our brother. Was this Rusted Junk? Rusted Junk says yesterday's money mindset was great. All right, and it was a great motivator. Talking about the men, the 4 quarters, getting you guys inspired and motivated to get yourself ready and prepared for the year. This time of the year tends to get slow. The 4th quarter, always the sales go down of everything. People start pinching pennies, getting ready for the holidays. Some people induce holiday heart and stress. Some people look at their finances and start tightening their belt. So we understand that, but we're going to still promote the money mindset. We're still going to promote the JUCO course for you guys because as you see in this show, dating is monetized. There are people that are willing to pay their way up to get the best possible mate. Now, that goes against, I call this counter programming. I think there's been a lot of successful counter programming to what people look at and perceive as men's spaces, the manosphere, and the red pill. So I want you to understand that because that's going to go along with the conversation. I'm not co-signing. I'm not telling you that you need to pay $5,000 a month for an allowance, but I've already ironed out that love is not free. All right. Relationships aren't free. There's always a cost. There's always a payment. Okay. You do have to understand that. Now, you're going to see a lot more of this in the coming years because this is the counter programming that the platforms have been wanting to push forward to eradicate the messages of the spaces of the red pill, to eradicate the messages of the manosphere, to eradicate the messages of these broke niggas and these so-called perpetrating pimps. And if you don't see it, you're blind as a bat. Okay, you're going to see a lot of pro-marriage content over the next year or two because people are tired. People are tired of hearing don't get married. Now, there are some people who still want to hear it, but you're going to still see a lot of counter programming. If you don't believe me, the Department of Homeland Security, aka the feds, actually admitted that they're going to start pushing counter programming on the platforms. All right, so you're going to see a lot more of these type of conversations being pushed forward, and you're going to have to deal with it head on. You're going to have to deal with it because a lot of that conversation is going to be promoted through the platform. Yes, indeed. All right. All right. Somebody said people are tired of being broke and they'll cohabitate again. Exactly. All of these things that we could just say we rested on in the last 3 years, there's certain men that are going to just give up. We know this. They're going to give up, right? You can't tell a man no cohabitation, no marriage, no long-term relationships. Men are like, I'm not doing it. And this goes to the point where we've been telling you a lot of men live their lives through women. Okay. And this is why you've seen a change in the pace of my programming to less head on and more like, hey, this is what the world's presenting. And I present what the world's presenting and I present maybe a counter argument, or I'll play the devil's advocate because men are tired. Men are tired because men are like, well, I'm broke, but I also am desperate for relationship and romance. And I don't see a way out of brokenness, but I can see a way into romance and dating. Even if the relationship is bad, I'll put up with all the bad stuff. I mean, until it gets really bad. That's the thing is until it gets really bad, then they'll get really bad and then they'll be right back in the same position. And then I can point to them and I say, see, all right, so how did that help you out? Okay. But yeah, Even today, men are like, I still got to hook up with slump busters and booger wolves and knock knees and cock eyes. They still got to do it. They ain't giving up. I'm never going to give you up. We do have some people that are on the Ko-Fi, so I want to acknowledge them. Thank you for being here early in the morning. And then we're going to do 3 segments today. Shout out to our brother here. It is VMAD, a.k.a. Sky Daddy, says the game rhymes with lame for a reason. Definitely not the person to give relationship advice. Keep cooking, coach, wherever you are on the planet Earth. All glory to the Most High. Shout out to you. Yeah, the game is an interesting guy. Right? The game is an interesting dude. We're going to talk about that. And I got to be careful because, yeah, they be watching me. Somebody's watching me. Shout out to Glocktavius. This was from a couple of days ago. I don't know if I acknowledged him. Dennis S. says, I was talking to a girl this weekend, and he said she likes to store man juice in a jar. I think you meant she said. Somebody said somebody likes to store man juice in a jar and sleep with it under her pillow. She said it's like energy. It's wild out here. This is something I've been telling you. The man juice is a energy for women. All right. Women, you do pay for women with energy. It is very rare that a woman energizes you. And it is pretty common that you energize her. And we talked also about witchcraft. A lot of women dabble and practice in arts of witchcraft. And that's one of them. All right. You might not know about it. I'm certainly curious as why she admitted it to you. But yes, men engage in an energy transfer in which your man juice is definitely the spark of life. So she said it energizes her. But yeah, man, that's not a surprise to me because
Get him, daddy.
Get 'em Daddy season is always here. All right. And that's definitely on some Get 'em Daddy shit right there. The Paradox says, quick question, if you have time, planning your next trip, can't decide between Bali or Brazil, Rio de Janeiro. Any suggestions factoring in activities and how fine the women are, hashtag or / the JUCO, of picking one over the other? Well, that would be an easy decision for me. It would be Brazil. Bali ain't it. All right, not for that. All right, Bali is a small area. And there is a party scene there. There are some women that are on the expensive end because a lot of fashion models, celebrities go to Bali. There are a lot of women that go to target those type of men there. There is a hookup culture in Bali, in a bar and party scene. There also is a wusa energy there that you can go to in the northern areas of Bali. But I would easily go Brazil when it comes to how fine the women are and picking that. Brazil, no brainer. Right? Yeah, somebody just said that. Brazil, no brainer. Okay, it's just going to be better looking women, better quality, better experiences, and then it'll be a little bit lighter on the wallet, and it's easy to get around. Bali's not that easy to get around. It's terrible to get around. It's very terrible. You and me driving scooters in the middle of the jungle somewhere. So that's a no-brainer. But Bali's a great place to say you went to for destination. Miles says, Coach, from your global travels, what has your experience around the world exposed about American women? And what are some of the things you will never do with and for American women? Also, from your cultural experience, what do you say American culture is rooted in? What I say is rooted in dishonesty? Okay, that's a good question. Should I answer that now? Maybe I'll answer that later on in the show because we're already 30 minutes in. I'm going to come back to that question because that's an important question. Okay, in the context of the entire conversation. But let's get into some laughs, some straggles, and some sniggles. Let's do it.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right?
Straggle and Sniggle Theater. Let's get the claps going. Or not the clap. Straggle Sniggle Theater. We have a woman that I guess, I don't know. This has got to be a skip. This has got to be a skip. All right. So we got a pog. All right. We got a pog. And of course, we got a skinny black man, thick white girl. I don't have the sound effect going real quick, but we'll put it up on your screen. This one right here, there's the girlfriend. You see her right there, and she got them big old ham hock feet out right here. And she says she wants to do something to her boyfriend, but her boyfriend won't let her. Here we go right here.
Bro, I don't even give a fuck at this point. Like, bro, if you don't love me, you don't want to be with me, then just fucking say that.
You fucking nasty. All because I won't let you.
Bro,
You fucking
it's not even
trifling.
just the pegging. It's like other stuff. Like,
You're fucking nasty. Why are you obsessed with a man's asshole?
bro, it's just yours.
It's just
It's
mine.
just yours.
What the fuck, dude? These people really got problems.
No,
like,
if you don't want to be with me, you don't want me to.
I understand if you like ass, but like, bro, you're obsessed with trying to fuck my ass. Like, bro,
I
what?
like you. I just want you. I want every piece of you.
It's giving women in male fields. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Women in male fields. No, that would imply that you're sexist because women can be in whatever the fuck field they want. I can be in your ass if I want.
All right.
Skinny black dude, thick white girl. Skinny black dude, thick white girl. Skinny black dude, white girl. Skinny black dude, thick white girl.
All right. And you can tell she niggy affiliated. You can tell she's niggy affiliated just by her facial expressions, the way she talked. She a country Bama. But it goes even further than that. She wants to peg, allegedly, pause, this whole dude right here. And he's negotiating with it like he actually serious about it. And you got to give him the side eye for him even sitting there negotiating with this particular type of thing here. All right. Where's my Ayo chill? I don't have it real fast right there. All right. But he's negotiating with it. And he's like, why you want to do that? And she's even hitting him with the, well, it's not that I like to do that to every man. I just like to do it to you.
And that's you.
Now that's a lie. That's a cotton picking lie right there. She does that to all. She does that to all of her men. That's why she's already broken into it. That's why she's comfortable with it. All right. And she's done some even more disgusting things. We're going to talk about that with these women out here defiling themselves in the name of, let me see here. Let me see, where's my thing not showing there? There it is right there. In the name of pleasing you. In the name of pleasing you. So she definitely has done this to all of these pookies. Because, yeah, what's the point of her coming out? Oh, it's something that I just want to do for you. No, it's not. It's something she's done for a lot of men. And that's where I draw the line. All right. That's where I draw the line. How many dudes you actually done this with? And there it is right there. All right. That's what. And it's just what I want to show love. She wants to show control. She wants to exhibit some levels of control over your body. And she breaking you down, buck breaking you. Okay, unbelievable. And he's sitting there negotiating with her. Why you want to do this to me? Well, I just want you to know. It's just that I love you type thing. No, siree, Bob. Shout out to that Pog right there. And Pogs have been niggered out. And a lot of guys, unfortunately, a lot of black men, all right, especially when you look at the data of men that are involved in incarceration, unfortunately, a lot of black men engaging in this particular type of behavior. Okay, unfortunately.
Hey, yo, chill, son. Hey, yo.
Especially with women. Okay, this is going to start explaining. I'm going to start explaining some things where you guys will look at it and you guys won't understand it. Because a lot of guys think these broke pookies just be, having regular vagina sex with these women. No, they don't. A lot of these pookie niggas have served some bids. And they was in jail, gay for the stay. Okay, they was in jail, gay for the stay, and a lot of these women be doing stuff like this with these guys. That's why they be crashing out. They be trying to tell the secrets. Like some women will tell. See, they like this guy likes to have his dookie he'll play with.
Hey, yo, chill, son. Hey, yo.
By the way, somebody mentioned this, and I could tell that a lot of you guys, again, I don't like to say this, but a lot of people let the internet go wild. You talk about Thailand and the Philippines and lady boys. A lot of people will talk about lady boys in Thailand, lady boys in the Philippines. And are there a lot of lady boys in Thailand and the Philippines? Yes. All right. There is a lot of pageantry going on here in both of these areas. And I would say the Philippines is worse by far because you're going to see it more ingrained in the culture. You're going to see, you're going to see a group of people out and there's more than likely going to be some pageantry shit going on right there.
Hey, yo, chill.
All right, so it's more common
in
it. Now in Thailand, you're just gonna see it on the street. Now, here's my thing. Anybody that doesn't know what a lady boy looks like, you want a lady boy, okay?
Hey, yo, chill,
anybody that acts like they were shocked dating a woman that ended up being a man, let me just tell you, he either is idiot or he wanted to be with that man.
Hey, yo, chill, son. Hey, yo.
Okay. I'm just letting you know. Because to me, it's easy. All right. It is not hard to figure out.
Hey, yo, chill, son. Hey, yo.
It is so easy to see. It's the easiest thing to see, bro. I'm never shocked. Okay, I'm never shocked. Like, I can look and be like, that's clearly a lady boy. Now, there are some dudes that want to be here for lady boys. That's the sad part about it. Because I be seeing some white dudes going down to the beach, clearly picking up a lady boy. Clearly. And walking around and parading the motherfucker around, hustling back to the hotel. I can see it. So I done seen what a lot of dudes, white dudes be.
Hey, yo, chill, son. Hey, yo.
I can see it. So, and particularly when you're going to certain clubs, like when you go to cheap places and cheap massage and you picking out girls off the street, you're probably going to get a 50% chance you're picking up a lady boy. All right. But if you go into a nice go-go bar, you're not going to get a lady boy. They don't hire ladies. They hire bitches.
Hey, yo, chill, son.
Okay. So,
hey, yo.
yeah. And even Soy 6, they're not hiring lady boys there. So you're not going to see the likelihood that you see it goes down significantly. So you're going to talk about price and all that stuff. You're going to talk about what dudes are looking for. You're going to get a cheap massage or rub and tug. There's a high chance it's going to be a lady boy in there. So chill out.
Hey, yo, chill, son.
My point is this.
Yo.
If you are fearful of picking a lady boy, it either is that you're dumb or you want one. Okay. I don't need to be careful about nothing. All right. Heterosexual male. It's completely obvious. Okay. It's the most obvious thing you've ever seen. Plus, I picked up no girls off the street. Zero. I'm not one for picking up girls off the street. So there's nothing I have to be careful for. All right. Nothing. You can clearly see it. You can see it a mile a fucking way. And if you can't see it, you blind as a bat. Or you want the lady boy. And you're trying to act like, I can't believe I picked this one. You want one. I have to be careful. None. All right. I clearly pick up women where I'm going. All right. But the dudes that see this as a problem, you're blind or you want a lady boy secretly because it's completely fucking obvious. All right. That's my opinion on that shit. And I've been watching this shit for about 2 weeks already in the Philippines and Thailand. I'm like, you can clearly see them. Yeah. It's the forehead. Somebody just said it. It's the forehead and the shape of the head. That's what's the dead giveaway. Not the hands, not the feet. You can just look at their forehead and be like, that's a nigga. Right? You can just see, before you even investigate, look at the shape of the forehead. That's going to be the dead ass giveaway. And any woman wearing a wig in an area where women got long hair naturally, and they're wearing a wig, dead giveaway. All right, so that's why I don't get what dudes be like, man, I was talking to this girl and she was a dude. It's a dead fucking giveaway. I mean, it's not that hard to figure out. And in an area where women's average height is 5'1", and this nigga's 5'6", 5'7", 5'8", 5'9", dead giveaway. Dead giveaway. How many men are 5'1" that dress like women? Very few. All right. So if you're picking up small wings, 4'11", 4'9", 4'10", 4'11", 5 feet, it's probably not going to be a nigga. All right, not too.
Hey, yo, chill, son.
But you picking up 5'6" in Asia, welcome to ladyboy territory.
Hey, yo, chill, son. Hey,
come on, man. Like that dude be like, be careful, Coach. I don't have to. Every woman I be with be 4'11". All right, it's not that fucking hard. Anyway, is that Straggle Sniggle Theater? No, we got one more. We got a guy says why white people are a superior race. Oh my God. This is going to be a tough conversation right here. Okay, here we go. Why white people are a superior race. Let me see if you agree with him.
So Piers Morgan and Tucker Carlson were having a conversation about how basically the white population is going extinct in England, right? And Piers Morgan was basically sitting there and being like, you know what? I really got a real big deal with that. You know, I like my Indian restaurants and shit, my tikka masala, you know, I'm fucking with that. And in fact, I would replace a lot of white people with a lot of foreigners coming in. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, see, this is what Piers Morgan and a lot of niggas don't really understand. Whiteness and the West go hand in hand. Whiteness and exploration go hand in hand. Whiteness and philosophy goes hand in hand. Whiteness and democracy goes fucking hand in hand. What does this mean? If white people are gone, the West is gone. All the things that has made the West great has come from white people. That's just the fucking truth. So if all these niggas are gone and you have the entire third world, Mohammed, Omar, all these niggas coming to your country And all the white people are now fucking gone. The third world just becomes the third world again. These niggas are coming to the West because the West is great. The West was created by white people. If the white people are fucking gone, then the West is not going to be great anymore. This is where you're just going to get the constant authoritarianism, the tyranny, and all the bullshit that you were trying to escape from because the white people are fucking gone. That's why we actually need the Wiggers. If the Wiggers are gone, the elections are fucking gone. I'm going to be sitting here with all you dumb niggas because y'all aren't thinking about space. You guys aren't thinking about inventing anything or having democracy or any of these high levels of fucking thought. I'm going to be like, hey, y'all, we need a fucking election. Y'all going to be like, nah, fuck that. War. Let's just kill niggas because that's what it's like. So white people getting replaced is actually a horrible thing for the West completely. So Pierce Morgan.
All right. So listen, I don't disagree with what he's saying here. That's an interesting subject matter here. I think that one's going around. People are talking about that pretty much. I don't completely disagree with what he's talking about here. He says the West is white. All right. Although you could say the West was not white before they got here, but they also, before white people got here, women had their titties out. All right. So there's that. I don't know if that's a good idea.
Oh, the humanity.
All right. Women had their titties out. In fact, if you look at Pattaya, Thailand exists because, well, the modern day Thailand, Pattaya exists because of post-World War II activities and the military coming out here. This is a former military base, if I'm not mistaken. And they completely developed it into the coastline that you see today. So that definitely is a colonizer, colonial aspect of white people. Now, of course, white people, for whatever good they've done, they've also done some very atrocious things. And this is what people want to eradicate, the atrocious behavior of the colonizer mindset. But the problem is, if you get rid of that, then what do you have left? All right. Do you go back to women with their titties out? Do you go back to the countries that you see where people say, well, we need to be more Latin-like? Well, look at the Latin countries in America and South America, North America. Look at them. I mean, do you want to be Colombia? Do you want to be Brazil? Do you want to be Venezuela? Probably not. Do you want to be Mexico? Probably not. Okay. Do you look at the countries that are highly more central to the African countries? Most of them have a dictatorship. Not many of them have an established democracy. All right. And if they do, the CIA is running it. All right. Ask the brother in Haiti where they got rid of that president. CIA got rid of him, allegedly. Okay. So they tried to have a democracy and they had to get rid of his ass just like that.
It's barbecue in there.
So interesting enough, that conversation happens quite a bit. And I think there's just a lot of racism out here towards colonialism. And this is just the fight back of colonialism, because colonialism brought one thing for the good and they brought a lot of terrible things, and people were trying to correct those terrible things. But of course, if you just get rid of this group of people, he says, who's going to go to space? Because not many people go into space. The Middle Easterns aren't going to space. Okay. The things that we are normal about. Who's going to put more satellites in the air? This is what white people do. White people are very experimental. They'll go anywhere. White people ain't afraid to go anywhere. So they'll go up to space, the moon. They like to explore shit like that. Other than that, yeah. All right. So what happens to your 5G? That's all white folks to it. So that's an interesting conversation. Let me go ahead and see if you agree or disagree on that one. All right. White people like to jump. Paul Mooney said white people will jump in a can of beans to explore what's up in there. They like to go to the bottom of the ocean with sharks. Who's going to have aquariums? Like niggas don't have aquariums. Who's going to take care of the baby seals and the whales? That's all white people. Whales will be dead. Who's going to take care of, like they have the animals? This is an endangered species. Niggas don't care about that. Kill them. All right. Anyway, let me see if we can do this here. A lot of good and bad. Let me see if we can put a poll up right here. Do you agree? With his statement on white folks? All right. I'm doing it live. And some people have an assistant to do this. Not me. I'm a one-man show. All right. The pro-blacks are irate right now. Anyway, I guess that's the end of that segment. Let's move on and get the outro. All right. We'll do the outro. We'll keep it official. Outro time.
Hey, ride with me if you ride with me. You can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky. Come get high with me. That's a deal, right?
Okay, let's kick the show back into gear, man. Shout out to y'all. Do me a favor, hit the like button in the building. Here we go. All right, we got another segment coming up. We're going to go right into It's an Evil World We Live In, continuing the best edutainment here on YouTube. Hit that like button to let people know that I'm back on the air, at least for a couple of hours. Miles C says, during my global travels, have I experienced around the world? Has this exposed American women? And what are the things you'll never do again for American women? And from a cultural experience, would I say American culture is rooted in dishonesty? Well, in my opinion, this is my opinion on this one, okay, that you men in America are being sold a bill of goods, okay? You men in America are being sold a bill of goods. And we knew this, but of course, when you see it in real time, like I've seen it over the past 5 years in my travels, much of my travels have happened. When I was married, we traveled a little bit, but of course, with tight expenses and new children, it made it a little bit tough. I got married right after my mid-20s. I traveled a lot more before, but that was mostly in the United States. And let me just tell you, man, you're sold a bill of goods when it comes to this relationship shit. The price is high. You're being priced out. The propaganda that you're being fed is not fed over here. It's not fed in Europe. It is in some areas of Europe. In some areas of Europe, it's not, because in some areas of Europe, they're not on stable ground at all, right? Anybody can roll tanks into their area. So there's always a sense of in a proper order. Certainly in South America, certainly in these areas of Asia, they have to depend on nature. They have to depend on natural things. They can't just argue things on the internet and say, that's not true. And you can't have, they don't have the amount of propaganda on the relationship context in terms of feminism, if you will, that is going to cause division between the sexes. Okay. They don't have a battle of the sexes here. They don't have it. They can't have it because women don't have the ability to be self-sufficient. This is why you see a lot of these areas have a lot of what men call prostitution. This is why they look the other way on those activities, especially with tourists and locals. They have to, because the women have to make a way. Now, in my opinion, the same thing's happening in America. This is my opinion. The same thing's happening in America, but they're telling you differently. Oh, it's not happening. And women are girl bosses, but then you see them pivot away from it. Oh, we're not leaning into work no more. We're leaning out. Well, that's because they're trying to date monetize. They're trying to date and marry their way out of their financial problems. You have a lot of women that are steep in financial debt, something I've been covering for many years. And this is why they date the way they are. It's a form of prostitution. But then they just mask it and say, no, it's relationships and I just have standards and all of these things. So in my opinion, when it even comes to the act of dating itself in these white areas, the European, Western Europe, in the United States, you guys have been sold a bill of goods. It's not supposed to happen this way. You can get it done without having to do all of these things. Okay. But if you're going to stay and remain in the United States, you're going to have to deal with that. You're going to have to deal with that, compete with that. You're going to have to deal with the propaganda of it. You're going to have to deal with the women saying that this should be a standard. You're going to have to deal with women saying a real man would do this. But of course, he's buying into a bad situation because she's also of the world. She also still works. You're not going to get a woman in America to be like, okay, you're going to give me an allowance. I won't work, because she'll just simply say, well, you can still leave me and I'll be back to square one. I'll never depend on another man. I always have my own money. So you can't win. In my opinion, you can't win. Even if you did. Now, let's just say in Thailand, you took a woman and said, I'll pay for your whole lifestyle. She ain't working. She ain't at a go-go bar no more. What is she going to do? Stop selling? What's she going to be like? I know I want to sell fruit by that fucking cart all day. I want to sell dry crickets. Right? Nah, man, you ain't taking me back from Soy 6. I'm going to still work at the bar. What is she going to do? Right? You see what I'm saying? Like, because they don't have this idea of women having jobs and careers, women will take that deal. You gonna give me $5,000? Fuck it. Okay, I'm not selling fucking dry fruit. I'm not driving a scooter all day. I'm not going to work at the H&M for fucking 5,000 pesos. All right. In the Philippines, the women are like, oh, okay, what? I'm not going to work at the call center then. So they'll just immediately leave that gig and then be over there under your programming, your submissive wife, if you will. But not in the women in America. They still working at the call center. Well, I'll never. My father told me never depend on a man financially, but they also want you to give them a $5,000 allowance. Okay, they'll take the $5,000 allowance and still go work at the call center and double up, aka, do you have the stomach? So I think, in my opinion, it makes it difficult the more you've traveled around the world. And Passport Bros have been trying to tell you this, that it makes it difficult for you to want to even engage and participate in dating like that once you've been exposed to this. Now, some people will say, well, you're dealing with prostitutes and escorts over there. You're dealing with that over here or over there in the United States. It's the same thing. They're engaging in relationships, multiple relationships with multiple men before they even get to you. What were those relationships? They were based on some sort of prostitution, some sort of him sexualizing her highly, right? He beating a lining out of the peace sleeve. It ain't no different. In my opinion, it ain't no difference. But she'll say, well, it was a relationship. Well, like that Andrew Wilson wife. Well, I wasn't promiscuous. I was in 3 long-term relationships. It don't matter, right? They'll just disguise what it is. But then we'll say to you, oh, you just getting a prostitute when you come over here, when you get girls from Philippines. Well, that's their way of life. That's what they have to do. Well, what do American women have to do? They go and fucking fornicate for decades, and then they show up at your doorstep talking about an allowance. But I was in 3 long-term relationships. I wasn't promiscuous. That's enough. That's promiscuous to me. But of course, if you say that, then again, here comes the propaganda. They're just trying to Jedi mind trick you. So that's my opinion of what's going on there. And that's what I see. It's rooted in dishonesty. Right, the dating culture is completely about dishonesty. You can't call it how it is unless you have money. Unless you have money, you can call it how you see it, and most people will listen. And a lot of guys, unfortunately, you're just like the women, because a lot of guys, you bow down and bend the knee to dudes that got money too. Okay, you're just as much of a gold digger when it comes to men having money as the women are. Okay, so when you see a man with money, he has the power, and you guys will bend the knee to them too. It's not like you want a relationship with that guy, but you give the same respect and credibility to men that have money too, even when they're supposed to be lame. Okay, you still talking about them. That's that. Not only that, men that, like, say for instance, me, a lot of guys like to go in there and be like, well, CGA is short, but then get mad when women date men based on height. Like, these are the things even men so-called in this space will use. I think some guy said that. Well, because you're not credible in the manosphere because you're short. But we'll be mad if women came up there and said the same thing. Right? If women said the same thing. Well, I wouldn't date you. The only way I would date you is if you were taller. So men use the same prejudices that women use against men. Men will use them against men as well. 100%. And you can't deny what I'm teaching you here. You could just be like, well, I don't like what you're teaching you. But the main point is, dating in America is rooted in dishonesty. Women can't tell you about their past. They refuse to tell you about their past. They will say the past don't matter. Men, on the other hand, they're rooted in dishonesty because they're trying to figure out how to associate with this woman and get the most out of her by giving up the least. Okay? Let me give this woman the least as possible and get the most out of her, and that's a win. In our world, okay, in our world, that's a better relationship for men. All right, I got almost everything out of her and gave up the least. For that dating culture, that's not going to be a healthy dating culture at all. I think I've always been in the middle of this conversation. I haven't been on the manosphere talking points with this. I just don't get why that's a win. Because what is that going to prove? Because when that relationship ends, and it will, now you got another hurt person out here, and that person's going to be aiming to hurt the next person. That woman is. Actually, had a woman said this. She was married twice. She said, my third marriage, I'm going to marry for money, because the 2 divorces she said she got nothing from it. Now, again, I'm not trying to argue with people. Okay. Y'all like to argue with women like this. For some reason, that gets your blood boiling. Well, what did you say, CGA? You should have set her straight. What am I going to do? Okay. I ain't set no one person straight. I ain't got time to set a woman straight. If she thinks like that, there ain't nothing I can say to change her mind. So I just listen. I'll be like, damn, that's crazy. All right. Or I might laugh and sniggle, but I'm not about to get into no heated discussions with no woman, because it's not even important to do so. Okay. You guys got to learn that for you and you red pill ragers. You got to learn that. There's no arguing with these people. Okay. You're just wasting your breath arguing with them. But that's what when she said that, that's what she meant. She meant that. And I say that's rooted in deep dishonesty. That's literally sex for sale. If you're not, that's prostitution on a higher level. But anyway, I'll be like, hey, that's how they live their lives in America. So I think what you're asking, Miles, is that when you move to another area of the world, even I think Eastern Europe qualifies as this, South America qualifies, you're going to be engaging in this. There's going to be also a con related to that. The con is, if this woman is can be bought at that low price in these areas in Brazil, that means that a lot of men can get her. A lot of men can get her, and a lot of men can get her when you got her. That's also the down part about it. There's no solution out here. There's just trade-offs. If you show up and you're a foreigner, and this woman's dated a lot of foreigners, she's dated a lot of foreigners at a very low price. And that means also that when you get her, possibly another foreigner can get her. Okay. While you got her at very low prices, unless you come in here and price somebody the fuck out. And even that is not a way to keep a woman. A woman is not going to just stay because you're paying a lot of money. Okay. So anyway, a lot of that, it's a deep discussion going on. But I think the propaganda is what people don't figure out. Especially, you know what? When you're away from America, being black don't matter very much. Right. Which means that effect, like, nigga issues don't matter. Like, I've been away from nigga issues and all of your black politic bullshit. You realize how very small that is when it comes to the United States. All right, that is a very localized issue. Soon as you leave that vortex, none of that shit even comes up at all. A lot of people, black men, are concerned that when they leave America, they're going to face the same racism that they face elsewhere. Well, you'll get some stereotyping. There's going to be prejudices everywhere. There's prejudices for everybody here. There's Russian prejudices, prejudice for Russian people here in Thailand. There's prejudices for Indian people here, and there's certainly prejudices for American white men here and black men. You're going to deal with prejudice everywhere. But I'm going to just tell you, as long as you not dress and bring nigga shit over here, okay, as long as you don't bring the nigga shit over here, you're good. As soon as you bring the nigga shit over here, it's probably going to be bad. And I've seen that happen over in, I think, Thailand or the Philippines. Just leave the nigga shit over there. All right. The black stuff in America, it don't exist over here. Or are you going to experience people like you want to go get some real estate in here? They might just turn you away. Like, so they'll discriminate against you here. You'll face that. Guys, everybody faces that. You're going to face that. You'll face that in Costa Rica. All right. You'll face discrimination. They'll just like, we just don't want to give you access to buy here. Like, there's nothing you could do about that. Okay. Jesse Jackson ain't coming down to have a conversation with them. There's no march. But in terms of you're going to be left out, nah. You're going to find a way. Just don't feel like that you need to make your thing their thing, and you're going to be good. But anyway, enough about that. You do have to get out of the matrix. You do got to snap out of it. And that's what the men that have been encouraging men to travel have been trying to get you to do, is get out of that matrix. And if you've never experienced it in travel, because a lot of guys, you'll comment on something that you don't know about, please be quiet. You're making yourself look like an idiot. Okay, same thing with the ladyboy conversation. It's a misnomer to me. I'm like, how are people having a problem with this? Because I face zero problem with the whole ladyboy thing. None. Now, I don't get people off the street. Okay, so let me just say that. I don't date women off the street. I don't pick women up at dingy nightclubs. I don't pick them up at low-end bars around the corner. I typically don't do that. I don't go to massage parlors in these areas, in the Philippines or in Thailand. Now, you on the internet keep seeing this. Why? Because you're seeing low-grade people target the low-grade areas of these areas. Like, did you guys know this is a highly developed area? When I was in the Philippines, it was this was where the Japanese tourists go. So I'm in like the high-end area. Like, this is a high-end hotel. Let me see. I can't pick up my computer because I got so much. This is a high-end area. So everywhere I go is the higher end. So I'm not dealing with the issue you're dealing with. Dudes are dealing with the low areas, and they're going to try to pick up the lowest, cheapest person, and then they go walk on the beach and then say, oh, this is a ladyboy. Well, shit. Stop going to low area, low, dimly lit, low income, low women area, cheaper women area. That's what you're dealing with, and that's why you're going to deal with bullshit. Soon as you start trying to lessen the price to get as much as you can, you're going to deal with bullshit. Okay. Anyway, that's my whole philosophy with men. Stop dealing and stop trying to go cheap. When you go cheap, you run into bullshit. Shout out to our brother. No government name says your next ling is on me.
What kind of fuck you give me?
Shout out to you. Thank you, man. I got her. Shout out to our brother here. Cosmic M says, due to the results of the Ling Tour and the recent events in your recent travels, you are now dubbed the cataclysmic glorified agent. The free agent lifestyle for life. It lives on. Shout out to you. The cataclysmic glorified agent. The free agent lifestyle, man. The free agent lifestyle lives on. It lives on. It's a great lifestyle. It's what I've been promoting, and people are seeing it now. The reason why you're seeing it now, well, I tried to explain it. Okay. I tried to explain why you're seeing it more now, but a lot of people don't realize it. Like, I was supposed to do this in 2020, but as you guys know, COVID came. All right. I'm starting my free agent journey of traveling and showing you the free agent lifestyle in 2020, but COVID came, and I was quite pissed about that COVID thing. All right. As you guys, if you were watching me, you guys know about it. All right. I did a little bit of traveling, but international traveling was pretty much shut down. Then 2022 happened. Things started to open up, but I moved to Las Vegas. And as soon as I lose to Las Vegas, that triggered a lawsuit between me and my baby mama. Okay. So a custody battle ensued for my teenage son, and it triggered a lawsuit, which means I had to lay low financially. So that was 2022 into 2024. It took up pretty much a year and a half. Then once that cleared, then it cleared the way for me to do this. So yeah, man, shit happens. Shit happens, but you would have seen this a lot earlier if those things didn't exist. But of course, can't stop things from like that from existing. But now you're seeing it now. Okay, that's why you're seeing more of it now. It's not that he got money now. Well, shit, already had it. All right. I just couldn't make a lot of moves. Remember, I had a whole private investigator following me on my YouTube channel. Okay. The private investigators. Remember that? They used to be in the chat. So I had a lawsuit. So when you have a lawsuit, you got to lay low. You can't just still continue to live wild. Shout out to Boy Wonder says, is this $5,000 a bachelor tax? I wouldn't call it a bachelor's tax because the girlfriend and the wives are qualifying for it. So not necessarily, but I see what you're saying there. That could be. People have been concerned about a bachelor tax in the space for quite a bit. And I think there already is inherently a bachelor's tax inherently built into the qualities of the tax structure. Shout out to No Government Name says, good day, CGA. Hopefully you are enjoying your globe trotting. Have you mentioned Rob Reiner yet? I haven't. For some reason, my calendar dates got mixed up. I just think he got killed 2 days ago. And Rob Reiner, he played Meathead on Archie, All in the Family with Archie Bunker. And he also is a film director. Apparently his son deleted him. Okay? Damn. So I don't have the whole story because I haven't been able to, really look at social media and look at the news but yeah, I mean, sad to hear that happen, but his own son, and I don't know what his motives are, but of course, legacy. Okay, legacy. I mean, it's tough times out there. Doesn't happen quite often that your children will delete you, but imagine going out, you and your wife, and you've raised your children and given them everything, and for some reason they delete you. Maybe there was some drugs involved. I have no idea. Maybe there was a family dispute. Maybe the son, he was tight on money and he wanted to go ahead and cash in that life insurance, but he about to cash in a life sentence in prison. All right, but man, that's a cold world. That's a cold way to go out. And rest in peace to Rob Reiner. Kanye West has something to say about that. Rest in peace to him. It's too early for Kanye on that one. Okay.
I'm not going to say what race, what people. We know I can't say
but
that.
I don't have all the details to it, so I can't speak too much about it. I won't speak too much about it. And we have one more. Then we'll get back to this evil world we live in. Shout out to our brother No Government Name, says praying for continued safe travels on your Ling tour. The 12 Simps of Cheesmiths have become the new holiday tradition. Looking forward that you look forward to. Shout out to you, and we'll have that on Christmas Eve from South Korea. And speaking of the 12 Simps of Cheesmiths, we do have your ability to watch all of the lost episodes of the channel, the Monkey Chimpanzee channel. Let me go ahead and show you this right now. Okay, and I'll tell you how you'll be able to see it. Okay, and a lot of our new viewers don't remember this part of CGA's catalog. The lost episodes of Monkey Chimpanzee from the year 2019 and 2020. This actually led into the concept of the 12 Simps of Cheesmiths. Okay, and I coined the phrase Monkey Chimpanzee. It used to be I had a channel called Monkey Chimpanzee. I since sold that channel because it was demonetized. I actually got monetized, qualified for monetization, and they denied me monetization. So I was like, damn. I mean, that was my first. Do I count that in my demonetization? That might be the 15th time demonetization. But I put out that channel and they were like, no way. Okay, in 2019, 2020, they were like, we're not monetizing that type of content. And I was like, what is going on, man? Boy, they had it out for your boy. So they did not allow that channel to go forward. And yeah, but the lost episodes are on. I'm going to tell you where to find it. I'm going to put it in the chat. You guys can watch them, but you do have to sign up for a school account. Okay, school.com/Coach Greg Adams. Let me see if I can type that in. All right, you guys can, if you're just like, hey, I want to watch more old episodes of CGA. All right, season 1, season 2, season 3 is coming out. The lost episodes of CGA that have been since deleted off of YouTube. You can watch it there. This was the precursor to Monkey Chimpanzee. I'm sorry, the 12 Simps of Cheesmiths. That's where that concept came from, because at that time I did a wrap up of all of the top Simps of 2019. And then that led into the episodic yearly annual Monkey Chimpanzee Awards. So it started right there on that channel. Go check it out right there on school.com. I know I got a lot of links, but I got a lot of content. I'm one of the best content creators ever. I got the best catalog going of any content creator that you might know of. Stuff that is still relevant today. Enough said about that. Let's get into it's an evil world we live in. Let's talk about some evil stuff relationship-wise. Also related to kind of how people and the propaganda of relationships, you guys are competing against it. You're not competing against women. Okay, I've been saying this for a while. I want you to listen to this. Okay, I want you to listen to this. And this is why I want you to have a healthy relationship with yourself. I want you to love yourself because that's the best love. And I want you to realize that your anger and your rage is being pointed to women. And women are not the problem. Okay? Women are only a problem if you make them your problem. Your problem is the agenda, not the gender. Your problem is the agenda, not the gender. Because when you have leverage and options, okay, and you make good decisions and you're disciplined and you can concentrate, we talked about this last night on the Money Mindset, and you know how to deal with women up front, okay, you're not going to have as many problems. You come over to a place like South America, Eastern Europe, Asia. When you got leverage, you're in control. The reason why people will come and target these areas is because they don't have an agenda. Like they don't have the government, they don't have the police, they don't have child support, they don't have divorce graping you, they don't have the bait and switch. All you can worry about is her cheating on you. That's it. They don't delete their babies. They're not aborting them in the second and third term. They don't have this, I'm going to be a girl boss and pivot and then want to be a stay-at-home mom and then want to be a career woman again. It's non-existent for them. And the reason why you're facing your issues is the agenda. You're up against the agenda. This is why I wrote the book, The Evolution. This is why I came up with the phrase, you don't have any other choice but to boss up. Because what you're fighting is not women. And you guys think that you can get these women under your programming one by one. You can't. You can't. Okay. You might be able to find one that is not like that for the moment. But you guys are arguing with them as if you're going to change their mind. You can't. You won't. Why? Because they're downloaded with this agenda. They come pre-packaged with this agenda. Before you even meet one, this is the dangers of dating past 30, and you don't know that woman until she's age 30. You don't know what she's been downloaded with since she's been in the 6th grade. You don't know what she knows. Now, she'll only tell you enough. I'll tell you enough to get by and skate by and hope you don't ask any tough questions. And then when it's important and relevant, after you done moved in and after you done married them and knocked them up, now you're going to see what they're downloaded with. Now she can tell you what the real. Now she can tell you how she been a whore back in the day. She can tell you how she used to sell some pussy to get through college. Then she can tell you how she had a train ran on her. Then she can tell you how she already aborted 2 kids. Then she can tell after she moves in. She can tell you the truth then. What are you going to do? She can tell you that she's a feminist. Oh, I'm actually more a feminist. After you commit, she ain't going to really tell you that beforehand. And if she does, thank God. So the agenda is what you guys are upset with. And there's nothing you can do about that agenda, in my opinion. There's nothing you can do about it. It's too powerful. I was trying to tell everything that I'm telling you now is everything I was trying to tell Andrew Wilson. Okay. But he was too distracted and trying to make an argument about something. I'm like, bro, it's too late. Well, what about solutions? Guys, imagine this. Imagine this. I want you to imagine this. Imagine if, who likes hip hop music? Who likes hip hop music? A lot of people know and understand hip hop music. I can tell you all I want to do is zoom, a zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. I can tell you that, right? Imagine you're a man and you made it to today without hearing any hip hop. Not a one fucking song. You ain't heard no hip hop. Then when you get, now all of a sudden you meet a lady and she tells you about hip hop. How confused are you going to be? You're going to be confused like a motherfucker. You're going to feel like, what? I don't know anything. I don't know any reference to anything. That's what you are trying to do when you meet a woman that has no feminism. You think she has nothing uploaded. You don't have it. She has no frame of reference about anything. That's what you think you're going to meet. You're going to meet a woman and she has no frame of reference of feminism. She has no frame of reference of anything related to any agenda related to this gender war, what's going on. She don't want to be a career woman, a girl boss, a soft girl era. She don't want she wants to be able to never depend on a man financially. Like she would, I don't need no man. Imagine you meet a woman like that has no frame of reference of any of these agendas. How to divorce you, marry the what do they call it? Marry the first husband for money, marry the second husband for love. Imagine you meet a woman that has no frame of reference of anything related to any of these agendas. Imagine meeting a woman like that. Now, imagine, where would you meet a woman like that in the United States? None. She has been downloaded with this particular information for her entire life. If she had a father, he was the first male feminist in her life, more than likely. Because he started telling her, this is what a man should do to date you. This is what a man should do for this. Never depend on a man for money, blah, blah, blah. She's been given this her entire life. Then you show up. She's 28, 30, 32, 34. You think that you can talk to her and talk her out of 5, 10, 15, 20 years of programming to get on your program. Well, you can, but it's going to be hard work. It's going to be very, very hard work to be able to do this. Okay. It's going to be like, we're going to talk about fisticuffs, a lot of control and manipulation. Even that, where women will say, he gaslit me, he controlled me, he was abusive, he was a narcissist. Like, imagine, this is what you guys are up against. And I just don't see that that's going to be worthy of fighting an agenda for. Like, don't put that on me. I don't have the time to be fighting the New World Order, 20 or 30 years of progressive feminism, all right, anything related to what she's been watching television program-wise, music-wise. She can hide all of that and disguise all of that when she's dating you. Okay, the time where she went emo and she turned into a whore. I mean, whatever. She can hide all of these stages of her life. And then you show up completely ignorant of this, hoping that, you know, and you buy into whatever she's telling you in the first couple of months that you meet her. And you're like, I'm in love with her. Then you find out the hard way. You find out the hard way. This is why you needed ecclesiastical churches and social pressure to pressure these women to do all of this shit. You can't look at her old Twitter. How many people have done this? They had an NFL draft pick, and that person been a draft pick, and he's drafted number 1. Then a year later, after he's drafted, somebody goes back to his old Twitter, and then they find some racist, sexist thing that he said on his old Twitter when he was an 8th grader playing 7-on-7 football. And then they like, hey, you said this wild shit on your Twitter, and now you're the number 1 draft pick. What do you have to say about what you said when you were 13 years old? Now, imagine you could do that to women. Imagine you can go back to her old Twitter, her whole Instagram, or her old Finsta, her old Snapchat, all of her comments, all of her dialogue, her old Facebook. Imagine if you could go back and then talk to her and be like, hey, man, when you was in the 9th grade, you did this. When you were in the 10th grade, you said that. When you were in college, you said this. When you were, you just graduated with your bachelor's degree, you did that. Yeah, her old MySpace, her old Black Planet, her whole dating apps. Imagine you could go back like they do these number 1 draft picks. And they go back and look at their past and go, man, you need to apologize for this. You need to have an explanation as to why you said this in 2013. Now, imagine you could do that to a woman. You wouldn't believe anything they had fucking say to you about a relationship, why they just butter you up in the first 3 or 4 months. I'm different now. I changed. Okay. With that being said, yeah, her old notes in her iPhone. Dude, I went through a woman's notes on her iPhone. Man, I couldn't see her the same no more. I found her body count tab, and I was flabbergasted. All right, I was like, oh shit. All right, I was like, damn. And yeah, man, I had to hit. I was like, woof. All right. Anyway, man, never go through a woman's phone unless you want to disqualify her. Right? Oh, the humanity. All right. Her old notes. I went through her notes and found her body count. I was like, God damn, bro. It was some old NBA niggas on there, rappers and singers. I was like, sheesh. All right. Anyway. And she was a regular girl, regular woman. Like you wouldn't, she don't go outside. She ain't loud and boisterous. She's very shy and had NBA niggas on her damn roster. I was like, fuck. I was like, that is crazy work there, bro. And she was not the type of person that was just loud and outside. She was completely, you wouldn't even notice her in the room unless she was scantily clad. Unless she was scantily clad. You wouldn't even notice her. And you'd be like, how you hook up with this nigga? All right. You're like, God damn. So when I see things like this, it's like, oh man, I can't trust anybody. I can't trust anybody. So anyway, yeah, man. It's an evil world we live in. Where's my sound effect for that? What's going on? Right now, it's 12:30 a.m. in the fifth. No, where am I at? I don't even know where I'm at. I'm in Thailand. Or it's been one of those trips. I did wake up with a woman in my bed the other day. And yeah, I didn't even know where I was. I was like, what city am I in? What country am I in right now? As I was going to the bathroom to take a piss. Oh, wait, that's the evil laugh. That's not an evil world. And I had to get back in bed and realize where I was at. I was like, what woman is this? I was looking at her. All right, anyway. Yep. I'm a hoe. You know I'm a hoe.
What kind of fuck you give me?
I rock 3 different freaks after every show. I mean, I woke up stump. I was like, I got to take a piss. I was like, where am I at? And what Ling Ling is this? I had to look at her. What Ling Ling is fucking this, bro? Anyway, shout out to the Lings. They've been taking care of me.
What kind of fuck you give me?
But yeah, I used to do that. When I coached college basketball, I would wake up and be like, I don't even know what city I'm in. And then I would be like, who are we playing tonight? Oh, we're playing Boise State. We're in Boise. Anyway, oh my goodness. Where are we at? Anyway, rock stars have it. What are we doing here? It's the evil world we live in. I got to find the sound effect because I'm going to have to say it a couple of times. So let me find it now. Bear with me. I'm just stalling. Where's my evil world sound effect? This is crazy work here. It should be in alphabetical order, but I can't find the shit. All right. I found the evil laugh. That's E. Oh, there it is.
It's an evil world we live in.
Oh, by the way, also, I'm going to be doing my annual dating Wrapped. You know what dating Wrapped is when people tell you how many dates. Women do this normally. How many dates a woman went on, how many second dates, how many times she hooked up, and blah, blah, blah. So women do the dating Wrapped. Well, last year I did the dating Wrapped for the JUCO. Well, it's not just the JUCO. It's all women that I'm with, right? So, because not all women I'm with is a JUCO. Although since discovering the JUCO, normie women, I can't really fuck with them too much. Okay, I can't fuck with them. But I do the dating Wrap show on Locals, all right? And it is pay-per-view. This year, I've traveled to almost 20 countries. So you know the shit is going to be left, all right? So it is what it is. It's going to be wild. And we'll have the 12 Simps of Cheesemas. It's always on Christmas Eve. Always. Every year, it's been a Christmas Eve tradition. So right when you're out here on Christmas Eve, it's always there. But the dating Wrap show will be on Locals. And it's probably going to be, I'm going to wait till I probably get to Japan. Because I'll have a lot more context. Because there's going to be a lot more damage done to the list by the time I get to Japan. But this year, since I've traveled to so many countries and I've been around the world in II, it's wild as fuck. All right. It was a wild nigga year. Anyway, we got 1,500 in a box. How many YouTube content creators since I've been gone been trying to stream during my time? This is my time still. I'm still dominating this. And they still can't get 1,500 people in their live stream. All right, I've been gone, inconsistent, and I still got 1,500 people in my live stream. CGA is still here.
It's an evil world we live in.
All right, but I still got some damage to do in the land of the Lings, so I'm not going to do my dating Wrap show until very much the end of the year. But with that being said, it's an evil world we live in. Some more lessons for you gentlemen here. One of the things I've been telling you about relationships sometimes is that women keep receipts on you. Women keep receipts. So this woman right here says her name is Malika. That's a nice little, okay. All right, you can tell. If 50 Cent taught me one thing, and let's go ahead and play the video. What did 50 Cent teach you? Okay, I might have to refresh the screen here. Let me see. Let me refresh this screen. Okay, play the video. Okay, here it is. It's always keep every possible receipt just in case a motherfucker switch up on me. So here it is right there. If 50 Cent taught me one thing, it is always to keep every possible receipt just in case a motherfucker switch up on me. Now, listen, in all relationships, gentlemen, all women do this. Okay, you must be aware of this going in. Notes, screenshots of text messages. in your communication, you must understand that this type of, I call it investigative journalism, if you will, in your relationship. Nothing is a one-off. Any conversation that you have with a woman in your relationship has been screenshot in a way that makes you look bad. Okay. And she sometimes provokes these conversations. Now, I always warn you, some dudes, like, what do they want to do? They want to go off on a woman on a text message and this and that. Trust me, guys, she's screenshotting that shit. And the reason why she might do this is to protect herself, to make herself look like a victim at the end of your relationship, because you don't have the receipts. You don't have the context of the conversation. You don't have these Snapchats. I can screenshot people's Snapchats without them knowing because I got 2 phones. Okay, so I'll just screen record the screen as opposed to screenshotting it with the one phone, and they'll get a notification. Okay, we're talking about pictures. We're also talking about things that you've done in the bedroom that you don't want anybody knowing. Also, your inner thoughts and details about things you did in your past that you shared with her in the moment of weakness. Pictures that you sent, videos that you done with each other. You must know this going in. I know this going in. So any woman that I'm in a conversation, situationship, JUCO, whatever it is, I'm not having any conversations over the text message. Okay. It ain't going to be too detailed. And a lot of women are like, how come you don't talk? How come you don't reply to messages? How come you don't do? Bro, I ain't having these conversations over the message because they like to reference these messages. Remember when you said they'll reply to some shit 3 weeks ago and reply to that comment? You said this on this day and reply to that shit. And you're like, damn, you watching that much? Yes. Same thing. Yep. Baloney pony pictures. All right. Send me a picture of your junk. Nope. Right. I'm not doing it, especially now since I'm a celebrity. All right. I was featured on the Diddy podcast by 50 Cent. But since I've rolled in the area of being a well-known person in social media, nah, you ain't getting no conversation out of me. Very simple. I'm not about to have no discussions and reveal my inner feelings for a bitch. No, I don't have time for this because I know how they act. And it's not that they're bad. It's that that's what they do. All women do it. Your wife does it. Everybody's doing this. There's some men that do this as well. So it is what it is. But be careful with this one. Okay, you're not beating this one. The only way you beat this is to have very simple conversations on text message. Don't get pissed. All right, here's my advice for men. If you get pissed off and you want to message your girl something, just take 24 hours and think about it, what you're going to say. 24 hours. That means whatever that day, that means you haven't seen that person to tell them. Take 24 hours. If you haven't seen them in person, to tell them the message, take 24 hours and think about it. And think about the importance about what you're going to say, because it's going to come back. It's going to come back on you. Never go off. Never send them all caps, because this can also be seen as abuse of doing this. Now, remember, she probably said some wild, reckless shit too. And this is where you come in. Well, coach, she was saying X, Y, and Z. Do you have screenshots? Okay. Do you have screenshots? Do you have a good context? I've actually thought women said some wild shit to me only to realize I took that 24 hours and I reread the text message, and the text had a different context when I read it again. I was like, oh, you know what? I actually thought she said this and she didn't say that. All right. But since I didn't respond to it, I wasn't guilty of it. I wasn't guilty of making a bad response or taking what she said out of context. Once I looked at the message again after a day or two, I realized, oh, she actually said something different. And I'm glad I didn't respond to that, because I was feeling a certain way based on what I thought she said. So this is my advice related to this conversation. This is what I'm going to tell you for all men. All of you are dealing with this. You have a wife that does this to you. Yes, your wife, your girlfriend, the woman you trust does this as well. So be careful. Be careful.
It's an evil.
Be careful with that. And I don't care what you use, Tiger Text, Snapchat, disappearing ink, invisible ink. I don't care what you use. Never send a woman. Yeah, somebody said my mom does this to me. Yeah, man. Your mom is your first learner right there. That's the woman you first learn from. Be careful with what you text message women. Shout out to the women that are watching me right now that have a texting relationship with me. They know this too. I don't spill my guts on text messages at all. Okay. My shit is to set appointments, say hi, keep contact with, hey, how you doing? Great, good, and all of that shit. With that being said, this woman says texting an older man is not for the weak. Okay. So this is a younger woman that says she's in a relationship with older men. And she says texting these older men is not for the weak. So we're going to go ahead and see what she has to say about this. Let's go ahead and rewind it.
Do not expect to be entertained by an older man through text messages. You might get an LOL at best. Okay. Maybe like a laughing emoji. Maybe occasionally a heart. But yeah, no. Yeah, no. Don't expect to be entertained over a text message with the older man. Older grown man. Okay. It's not that they don't like you. Okay. It's just 2 p.m. and they're ready to go home and they're tired. That's it. So if you're going to be texting an older man, you better just be prepared and be secured in yourself enough to understand that their feelings does not reflect their text messaging style. Okay.
All right. So she definitely been hurt. You can tell there's some pain.
It's an evil world we live in.
All right. And this is her experience in this right now. This is real-time response. Yes, but she's right. Okay. Older men typically have something else to do. We're probably doing something better than talking to you. This conversation is going nowhere. You're not coming over tonight. This is not there's no content. Like, what are we doing? All right. What are we doing? Are we setting up a date? I'm doing a lot of important things. For me, I drive a lot, meaning that I drive myself a lot. I'm very rarely in the passenger seat, right? I'm very rarely. So if I leave the house and I'm going to do something, I'm driving. Now, the cars that I drive are cars that I don't want to fucking wreck. A Porsche 911, okay, a G-Wagon. I don't want to wreck them texting some fucking woman. So I tend to not text at all when I'm driving my cars. Right? If I'm driving the Ford F-150, I tend to not text as well because I don't want to run somebody over in that big ass truck. Okay. But I don't want to text and drive in a 911. Anytime I find myself doing it, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm driving a car, a 6-figure car, texting. And it's not the most comfortable car to text in. Anybody ever been in these sports cars? The seating in it is very terrible. All right. You know, the fucking armrest is up here. You can't even get comfortable. You all down in the seat. Okay. So it's not a car. It's not a phone. The steering wheel's in your lap. Okay. It's not a car you can text from. So then once I'm doing something, by the time I drive somewhere and I get somewhere, I'm not trying to think about returning the text message. I'm like, that shit can wait till later. So I'm not constantly texting people all day long. I see the text. I'll get to it when I get to the motherfucker. Okay. I'll get to it. Yep. I don't got a little thingy that I can look at my phone. I'm like, yeah, anyway. So some women do think, how come you take so long to return a text message? Then by the time I get home, there's some other shit that I'm doing that I don't even have the time to worry about it. And younger women don't understand this. They think that, especially when you have a phone and they have your phone, that could just reach you. No, you can't just reach out and touch me. You can't just reach out and text message me. Now, does this mean that she's going to accept this? No. Unfortunately, and this is the case with not just younger women, but older women, they get aroused through words and texts so that they will judge a man's interest in them based on how much they message them. Now, men do this as well, but a lot more women do this with men. So if there's a woman, and I had an older woman, well, when I say older, that means she was in her 40s. She wanted to engage in this constant back and forth and, flirting and things that you do when you're in your 30s or 20s. She wanted to have these what would you do to me? What would you do if we were here in Bora Bora? What would you do here? And what are you thinking about? And what is your favorite fantasy? And I told her, I was like, yo, bro, I'm not about to have these conversations with you. I'm not about to have this conversation with you. You're either going to be in front of me or you're out of sight, out of mind. And she was like, well, other guys have these conversations with me. I was like, well, go to them. I told her, I said, go where the energy flows. If you want to pick the guy that you think is going to be the best guy because he has time to have these conversations with you, pick him. And that's what she did. She went back and picked them. And then guess what? Spun the block 3 months later. Hey, how you doing, Mr. Negro? And I was like, yeah, what happened to all them niggas that was supposedly having these conversations with? They already fucking smashed, blew they load, and all of a sudden they don't want to talk no more. Now the conversations are lacking. Now you back in my motherfucking face. Okay. And then she tried to do it again. Well, if you just engage in the conversation with me, maybe we could go somewhere. I was like, maybe. Smashed her. And then she wanted to have the conversation again. And I was like, nope. I'm not about to go back and forth with you on text message. I had another woman, a woman that was trying to extend the relationship out without giving up sex, wanting to do videos. She would send me videos in the morning. Hey, how you doing? I'm just sending you a video. And she wanted to have this video back and forth. I'm not about to look at no fucking videos and make a video back. I don't even want to look at the fucking video. Another woman, she was an older woman, wanted to send me videos. Hey, how you doing? Just wanted to, and I told her, I was like, these videos sound generic. Like you sent these to 10 niggas this morning. Because she never said my name. And she was like, yeah, but I thought it was for you though. Like, I was just trying to have a clever conversation. I thought you liked it. I was like, you never say my fucking name. You just say, hey, I was just doing this. I was just doing that. Hope you have a good day. I was like, you said that to 10 niggas. Right? You didn't say, hey, Greg. Hey, coach. You said, hey. And then went about, yeah, I'm just doing this and I'm doing that. I'm just thinking about you and hope you have a good day with her titties out. I was like, that's not for me. That could be for 10 niggas. So I was like, stop sending me those videos. I'm not about to watch. I don't even want to watch them fucking videos. All right. Number one, let alone reply to that fucking shit. Let alone then video response back. Hey, love. I'm too anyway. I'm not about to go back and forth. There's money to fucking be made. And this is the one thing that I want guys to understand. If you're engaging in these conversations and they're not making you money, you're doing a dumbass activity. Okay. Somebody says, how many women have I smashed? Holy mackerel. My goodness, man, I would break your fucking heart if I told you that. How many women have you smashed? I would break your fucking heart, guys. I know you think I was some sort of incel red pill guy. I would break your fucking heart. But the reason why I would never tell you is because you a bitch ass nigga. That's why. I could tell you a virgin ass nigga. Go sit the fuck down and go to my locals, nigga. So you can go figure out what the fuck going on. Okay, anyway, niggas want to know how many niggas I dig down. You couldn't even handle it, motherfucker. You bitch ass nigga. All right. If you think me talk about 2 or 3 women that I fucked and you think that's egregious,
Look at this bitch ass nigga.
you couldn't even fucking handle it. Bitch nigga. Oh, are you crazy? Can't even handle shit like that. Go over to locals, goofy ass nigga. All right.
Lord have mercy. Look at this bitch ass nigga.
All right. Anyway, these people are crazy. These people are crazy. What are we doing here? Anyway, I'm 50 years old. Where we at? Let's get to the next conversation here. Oh, ladies. By the way, what I was saying, and I got to say this today. I got to say this again. I have to repeat this. For the men, if you're engaging in this type of dialogue with women, you are wasting time. Okay? I'm going to say this again. If you are engaging in these type of conversations with women on text messages, you are wasting your time. Not only that, you're paying. That's a form of payment that you say, I got it for free. You didn't, nigga. You sat up there and text cake this bitch for hours and days on end, before, during, and after. If you got that much time to spend texting women and you're broke, your life is fucked up. You should not have that much time to spend texting women at all, in my opinion. As a man that has done this activity, I cannot tell you that when the light flips on, I know you want to argue with me and tell me, well, I'm gaga getting, bro, you are wasting your fucking time talking to women like this. You could be fucking a whole bunch of other women, just getting to the fucking point. That is a form of payment, because what are you engaging in that allows you to have that type of conversation where you're not distracted by something? You're distracted by something greater to be done. You're at work. You operating a forklift, trying to text message some bitch. All right, crazy. Absolutely crazy. And the sad part is you don't realize she's having 5 of these running conversations with multiple men. You ain't the only one she's texting like this at all. If that matters to you, sometimes it doesn't matter to you. That matters to me. I'm not about to have these conversations just she running 5 other conversations in the background with 5 other guys at the same time. I don't have time for that. Okay. I don't have time. I don't have time to sit back and have conversations with her. Again, attention, money, energy, attention, and time. I don't have time to be one dude giving her attention out of 5, 10. And if she's active on dating apps and all of that, bro, I don't got time, bitch. Look, the text messages for me, okay, text messages for me are about setting up appointments, logistics, communicating. Hey, how you doing? Checking in, and that's it. If you're out here doing, foreplaying and all of this stuff, and she needs that, that means most of the time, if a woman's engaging in that, she's unemployed. She ain't got no money. What can she do for me? Yep, I'm giving her instructions, where to meet, when we're meeting, what to do. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Glad to hear from you. Have a good day. That's it. Yep, aftercare. Did you make it home? Glad you made it home safe. I enjoyed my night. Good motherfucking night. That's it. See you next time. Apple Pay. That's it. Other than that, you're doing way too much. You're not running game. You're getting game played on you. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next video right here. We have a woman that says, oh, here we go. Okay, wait a minute. Let's see what this woman says here. Okay, she says, this has to do with the conversation. We have a bald-headed Lily Lintlicker here. I guess she's a former Lily Lintlicker. Here it is right here. Let's see what she says.
Yo, I cannot deal with no man who got no strict ass program. You mean to tell me I messed up one time and then you ready to just throw me to the wolves? I don't get no chances. I just got hired. I'm a new hire. I don't know how this goes. I don't even have room for improvement, training, nothing. Oh, I don't think this is gonna work out. Yo, I cannot deal with no man who got no strict ass program.
Okay, all right. So you heard this video right there. Yeah, nah. Hey, look, again, see, she's not being honest. She's not being honest. She knows what she did. She was just testing her limits. She tested her limits, and the dude smacked her on the head, and he did, and he dismissed her. Now, some dudes, they're not used to dudes doing this to them. They're not used to dudes. They're used to dudes doing this text message and giving her a second chance and arguing with her. And then while she's playing coy and plausible deniability, and what did I do? I don't get it. Going back and forth with her, being gaslit. Okay, that's what they're used to doing. They're used to you. They're used to you putting up with her bullshit and trying to correct her. Now, this is where guys are like, you got to put your hoes in check. I disagree. At a certain age, they should know what's right or wrong. Or they should know that, okay, this guy don't accept this, so I should go ahead and do it and do what he says, or just not deal with him. But what'll happen is they'll deal with a guy who comes in genuine and he says, yes, yes, yes. And then she tests her limits. And then he says no. And when he says no, he's like, have a nice fucking life. He cuts her off. And then she's like, oh, wait a minute. Whoa. Okay, I don't get why you we can't talk about this. Relationships are about communication. No, they're not. I gave you instructions already. You already know what to do. I was being genuine, and you tried to take my kindness for weakness. You took advantage of the situation, and you tried to play me. Don't try to play me out. You're out of here. And then she's like, I don't get no grace period. I don't get no warning. No, you got warnings already. You got grace periods. I gave you this instructions. You knew what the fuck time it was, and you tried to test your position, and you lost. And that's what happened with her. She had a good guy who was doing what he was supposed to do, giving her a lot of yeses. And then she did the one thing that he probably warned her about. And she said, let me see what he gonna do. And he dismissed her ass. That's what happened. She tried to test her fucking limits. Dude, I've had a lot of women do this to me. Because they just assume. You guys got to remember. You guys got to remember that women don't know who you are. Okay. And a lot of times we've been done bad by women. It's because you didn't give them instructions and you just thought you just assumed that she thought you were great. She just assumed that she thought you were the bee's knees, right? As the old people used to say. Well, she doesn't know who you are. She only knows how she dealt with dudes in the past. That's her only frames of reference. She only knows what she wants to do to you. She doesn't know who you are. She doesn't know to take you seriously. So what'll happen is if you take yourself seriously and you don't got time to play games with these motherfuckers, like a lot of you guys got time, and then they do something and you call them out and they play the whole gaslighting thing, and you're like, what? I don't get it. I don't understand. And then she wants to have the conversation with you where you talk yourselves in circle over and over again. And you're like, no, we're not going to talk ourselves in circles. So you're dismissed. They're shocked. They're like, whoa. And they'll call you strict. All right, your programming's too strict. All right, you're too much in control. You're controlling. You're insecure. And then you're like, well, that's fine. Have a nice fucking life. They don't know what to do with this. And that is the best way to, in my opinion, this is the best way to deal with women. Because now they don't know what to do. That shows an exercise that you have leverage and options. When you argue with them and put them in check, it shows that you don't have leverage and options. It shows that you will put up with all of her bullshit. And she knows now what triggers you. Unfortunately, when you're dealing with a lot of immature women, arguing is foreplay to them. Arguing is what they think relationships are. So they think this is a game. I'm not equating women to dogs, but sometimes you have a dog that'll run outside the house and you're in your dress clothes. It's raining outside. Your dog don't give a fuck. Your dog just runs outside the house. And then you're like, Fido, come on in. I don't have time. I was just about to leave for work in the morning. I'm all dressed for work. It's raining outside. Fido, come inside. And you start telling the dog to come inside. What does the dog do? The dog's like, it's time to play. And so you run at the dog. The dog runs away. Ha nigga. Oh, come get me. Come get me. And you're like, the dog doesn't understand you got to go to work. The dog doesn't understand you're dressed for work. They don't understand it's raining outside. And the dog's like, it's time to play. And you're like, come here, bitch, come here, bitch. And you try to get the dog like. When you argue with women, that's the same thing as trying to get your dog in the ring. She thinks you're playing sex. This is how she got their attention. This is how she drummed up the activity and the flirtation. This is how her pussy got wet. So when you don't argue with them back, flabbergasted. They're like, huh? You just gonna dismiss me? Well, you too strict. You too sassy. They're used to people, especially black men, wasting time, keeping a bitch in check, and she just come and get me, catch me, put me in check. All right, watch me, try to keep me from being out in these streets. And you're like, I'm not going to keep you being out of these streets. Go fuck whoever you want to fuck, but I ain't going to talk to me. Okay. And that's what's happening with her. That's what's happening with her. She thought it was a game and she got checked.
You mean to tell me I messed up one time and then you ready to just throw me to the wolves?
Yep, you messed up one time. And most of the time, and you can see on her face the dishonesty. You can see on her face the dishonesty. She's being dishonest. I messed up one time. No, you actually knew the rules and then you crossed the line. You tested your limit. You didn't mess up. He gave you instructions and you said, fuck it, let me test. And he didn't go for the shit test. He was like, you're dismissed. You mean to tell me, tells me she's been playing games with him. Yes, I mean to tell you that. Blocked. Right? Blocked.
I don't get no chances.
You can tell she messy as hell. She's messy. And people think I'm exaggerating this message. This is a messy woman. And she knows it. Look at the smile and smirk. I tried to play this nigga and he didn't go for it. Nope. You get no chances.
I just got hired. I'm a new hire. I don't know how this goes.
You don't know that. Again, this is how you learn. In my opinion, this is how you learn. Oh, I didn't know how this went. Okay, good. Well, let me prepare you for the next man, because this man ain't got no time. So this is a lesson that you can learn for the next man. You're the next man's issue. Now, this is what happens when you get older, wiser, leveraging options, you get money. Like, you ain't got no time. And then when niggas be like, well, how many girls you smashed? Yep, that's how many. Right? That's how many. Enough for me to learn. Enough for me to learn. But yep, you get no other chances. You guys got to take it like this. Pause. Where we at here? We have another woman that says here, she says, what I don't allow my husband to do. Okay, we have an cautious wife type woman. And this is I called her an SEC wife, because a lot of times we look at these type of wives as perky type of SEC wives. And unfortunately, a lot of these men that get these wives like this get henpecked, because these women think, oh, I can tell this man what to do. Oh, I'm in a relationship with you. I'm married to you. You got to listen to me. You got to do what I tell you to do. Unfortunately, there's a lot of women who think like that. That's what relationships are. Or relationships mean I get to tell you what to do. So she says, what I do not allow my husband to do. Wow. All right, but we're controlling. Here we go.
Husband is not allowed to do. He is not allowed to play video games. No video games allowed in this household. He can go golfing whenever he wants, but to me, video games are just the biggest waste of time. Speaking of golf, if he wants to go golfing more than once a week, the next time he goes, he has to take both of our children. And that's a win-win, because it's a fun outing for him and the boys. Next, he's not allowed to drink coffee. Let's throw energy drinks and stuff like that in there too, because it is so bad for you. Yes, we will have the occasional Diet Coke, but other than water, that's about it. Also, he just gets really bad migraines, and those energy drinks make him way worse. Right along those same lines, no smoking or drinking. Absolutely no. To me, that one seems like it should be totally self-explanatory, but it's pretty controversial.
I don't know what she said there. Coffee?
It literally alters your brain. Drinking? Absolutely no. To me, that...
I don't know what she said right there. Anybody know what she said? She blurted it out. All right, she bleeped it out. But guys, this is where men, again, I'm proving this point. Somebody says jerking off. Okay, that's what she said. No jerking off. Oh my. All right. Okay. I knew him. I said coffee.
Same lines, no smoking or drinking. Absolutely no. To me, that...
Okay, I guess that's what she said. No jerking off. I said I can't get it. Okay, now let's let her finish the video. All right. And see what she's got to say, and I'll break it down.
One seems like it should be totally self-explanatory, but it's pretty controversial. It literally alters your brain chemistry. It is honestly everything that's wrong with this world. He does not have his own bank account. We share bank accounts. It's our money. He's not allowed to buy a gift for me without consulting at least one of my sisters. If we are driving in the car together, he is not allowed to sit in the passenger seat. It's reserved specifically for me. Definitely no gambling. I can already hear all the comments now telling me how controlling I am, telling me how psycho I am, how he's probably doing it behind my back, or he's this, he's that, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to hear it. Actually, you know what? It's fine. I don't really care, because if we're being honest, he made all of those decisions way before he even met me. Maybe minus taking the children golfing with him. Taking the boys golfing with him is literally like one of his most favorite things to do. They love going. And when we were dating, these standards were some of the biggest reasons why I decided I wanted to marry him. And that's it. I'm all ready to go. Bye.
Okay. All right. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Look, these are the relationships that when you tell me to touch grass, this is when people say, Coach, man, there's relationships out there. I see that man got this girl. And how did he get her? And there's people with normal relationships. You guys got to realize that a lot of men in relationships and marriages, they got to be this guy. They got to be this guy. Now, they'll tell you not they're not this guy, or they'll even try to tell you that they'll say things that makes you understand that they're that guy. And a lot of women will say, I want a guy like that. And she even said, these are the things that made me want to marry him. These are the things. Not that he was good looking and tall. Those were qualifiers. Sometimes they'll even, the looks aren't important with women. It's this stuff. And then you will tell me people are in relationships. And I was like, what type of relationship? And unfortunately, it will be like this. Now, this seems extreme, but you don't understand, especially young men who are giving up, right? They're giving up everything they can for access to that woman. And, you know, this is a typical SEC type of girl. And you'll see this beta dude with her, and you don't realize he's completely betaized by this woman. And she gets to tell him when he has sex, what type of have sex, what type of positions, what type of fetishes. She's going to be like, oh, you're nasty. Because you're going to be like, I want to come on your feet. And you dead serious. You might have a fetish where you just want to nut on some manicured toes. Now, at the JUCO, you can get this done. Okay, this is not even a negotiable. You'll just be like, all right, pull your toes out. We nutting on these. And she going for it. But in marriage and relationships, the woman can say, you nasty, you really want to do, and now you got to have a discussion about why you want to do it. You really like that? Why would you like to do something like that? Do you have some sort of foot fetish? All right. Whereas women at the JUCO, you can be like, here I come, here, give me your feet. And you can just nut on her toes. And she'll be good with it. She'll just take the towel and wash it off, and she'll have her own thoughts. Okay, this nigga got a foot fetish. All right. So it'll be the end of the conversation. Whereas with your girlfriend and your wife, yep. When you've been watching stuff like that, I bet you have stuff like that on your hard drive. You need to check your hard drive. You need to go to therapy. This type of woman. This type of woman. This is the type of woman that you had to have that discussion with. Trust me, because your wives don't understand it. Even though she had frat boys do this to her already. Okay. But she gets to tell you what type of sex you have, when you have it, what you did. You didn't do nothing today. You didn't take the kids out golfing with you, so no sex today. This is how a lot of young women and women in general think relationships are, that she can just jump out here and make a whole list of what you can't do, like you a whole child, like you're a dog. Okay.
Video games. No video games allowed in this household. He can go golfing whenever he wants. Here's a list of things my husband is not allowed to do. He is not allowed to play video games.
He is not allowed, guys, man. He is not allowed to play video games. I'll be damned, man. I'll stay single, man. I'll stay single. There ain't no way I'm even going to feel guilty about turning on my video game. Well, you shouldn't be playing video games anyway. Shut the fuck up. Okay? I don't care what you think I should and shouldn't be doing. Bro, my bank account says otherwise. But if I want to pull out that Nintendo Switch 2, I'm about to pull out that Nintendo Switch 2. I'm about to go in. All right? And I don't have to ask for permission. I'm going in when I want to go in.
No video games allowed in this household. He can go golfing whenever he wants, but to me, video games are just the biggest waste of time. Speaking of golf, if he wants to go golfing more than once a week, the next time he goes, he has to take both of our children.
Look at that. Look, when you go golfing with the boys, you got to take both of the children. See, the one time you could go by yourself, but next time, no. Listen, look, I've been in relationships and marriages where the women think that this is a conversation. And sometimes you just do it. Well, you know, I went out golfing with the boys, or you got to sneak out early in the morning. I got to leave at 5 in the morning. And you're like, why are you leaving at 5 in the morning to go golfing? Well, you know, those are the best tee times. And no, because the wife wants you back at 9 o'clock. Because if you went golfing at 9, you're not getting back till 12 and 1. And your wife ain't going to give you that. She ain't having that. So now you got to go golfing at 5 in the morning, leave at 5 in the morning, sneak it out while everybody sleep. So you can come back at 7:30, 8 and 9, and she don't feel like you've been out all day. Guys, men do this in relationships, and they call this relationship. And the woman literally got him by the balls. You were out till 9:30. How dare you? How dare you?
And that's a win-win because it's a fun outing for him and the boys. Next, he's not allowed to drink coffee. Let's throw energy drinks and stuff like that in there too because it is so bad for you. Yes, we will have the occasional Diet Coke, but other than water, that's about it. Also,
oh my God, man. Yeah, I can't handle it. I can't handle it. There's no way. There's no way. Not at my old age. And my screen gets smaller and smaller every time I do this. I don't know how to make this bigger. Pause. But man, I can't. I'm too old for this. I'm an old dog. But you guys can go for it, guys. You guys can go for it if you want your relationships this bad. And guys are in marriages and relationships that bad. I think that is horrible. But of course, I was married before. And yeah, they try to pull that. My wife wasn't that like that. But it certainly was like you felt guilty about doing something. All right, let me get this in. Are you going to like this or are you going to give me some bullshit? Sad part. And then we got last one on It's an Evil World We Live In. We have a nice, looks like a light-skinned chick. Her name is Kendall Miles. What did I tell you about older attractive women? And yes, this woman is older. Older to me is 32 years old. Okay. Older to me is not 40 and 50. Those are dinosaurs. Older to me is over 32. All right, hold on for a second. All right, yeah. Older to me is over 32. So this woman's older to me. They're like young woman, 20, 22, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Once they get past 28, 30, 32, she's old. So this woman is Kendall Miles. You can see she's an attractive older woman. And I told you, attractive older women, I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of non-attractive older women. But an attractive older woman, if she's single and available and interested in me, I literally be like this. All right, I'm like this. I'm like, get away from me, Satan. All right, get this evil woman. What type of evil spell this woman trying to put me under right here?
It's an evil world we live in.
Attractive older women, I'll be like, you know why? Because the things that they've been exposed to and the realities that they've lived, you've never even seen this world before. All right, you've never seen this world before. And she's going to break your heart as to what she's been doing with her life. You've never seen it. The world she's lived in, she's seen Monaco hotel suites. She's seen high-end restaurants. She's seen the speakeasies you don't know about. Okay. And she ain't paid a dime for none of these fucking things. She's been flown to Paris. All right. She's actually had sugar daddies that had her up in Paris for 2 weeks. And he was at work meetings the entire time because he was on the higher end of the World Economic Forum. And she just got to do whatever she wanted for 2 weeks in Paris. Okay. Like, I know women like that. And you think, no, this woman never got that. Yes. She was with a dude that just was like, come to Paris, flew her in, and he had work functions. And she just got to do whatever she wanted all day in Paris. And then he would come see her during the evening. And then they would sleep together. And then he would go leave early in the morning for a work function or an evening work function. And she, bro, and you'd be like, what the fuck? Like, she has a world you never lived in. Then you have to ask, why is she with you? Because once she sets her sight on you, there's a reason why she set her sight on you. She's either washed out of that world or she wants to turn away from that world. She wanted to give that world up and she's going to find you, sucker ass nigga. Now you look, I've been the sucker ass nigga in this conversation.
And that's you.
I've been the sucker ass nigga in this conversation. I've been the guy that these type of women have focused their attention on. And I'll be like, what is going on? I'm literally thoroughly confused because she'll make it easy. She'll make it easy. Sex will be easy. The conversations will be easy. And you'll be like, what is going on? You know what she wants? For you to marry her motherfucking ass.
What kind of fuck you give me?
Wrong sound effect.
And that's you.
She thinks that you're going to be so snookered that you're going to walk her down the aisles in 6 months. That's what she thinks. The other guys, she can't get them to marry because some of these other guys were married. The guy that flew her into Paris, he was married. She won't tell you that. She'll say, I've never cheated on a man, but she won't tell you that she was the side piece to a man. But she believes that you are going to marry her. You're going to be so like, oh, I got this wonderful, wonderful, beautiful woman. She gorgeous and she's this and that. She speaks so well and eloquent. She knows about champagnes and rosés and wines. She's got so much experience. She told me she's visited 40 countries. And you're going to be snookered I came up. She really likes me. She'll suck your little wiener.
And that's you.
She said she never asked for money. She's not a gold digger. I've never paid for no pussy from her. Get ready. Get ready. Now, this woman is going to prove my point here, okay? This woman's going to prove my point. This is why I don't mess with, take seriously, attractive older women. I literally want to throw holy oil on these bitches. Get away from me, you demon. Okay? Because they are literally targeting you to snooker you into getting into a relationship quickly. Okay, so let's hear what she has to say right here. She says, settling down is the best feeling in the world. There you go. Settling down is the best feeling in the world. Let's see here. Let's rewind it.
Giving conversation, but last night I was talking to my brother and it really reminded me there are witnesses to our lives. We were having dinner and I was telling him about how me and my boyfriend were so happy. We're talking about taking next steps. We want to take next steps. My brother looked me dead in my eyes and he was like, you had a good run. You had a really good run. And I was so taken aback by that. I thought it was so funny. And through the rest of the night, I was really just thinking about my journey to get here. I dated a drummer, a man who never told me no, rapper, an actor who introduced me to his mother, white man who inherited a business from his father and grew it to $2 million in profit, an Italian man who was obsessed, the mayor, a man who founded a liquor company, a scammer, a partner at a hedge fund. I dated a narcissist CEO, a promoter for the clubs, a model. That was the worst one. A white man who went to Morehouse, had a penthouse in Manhattan, and would let me go there whenever I wanted.
For a second, I muted myself. Guys, when that guy asked me how many women have I been with, bro, you asking the wrong people. Ask these women how many men they've been with. Don't ask me. All right, because most of these women I can't compete with. You be shocked at who these women been with. And she's telling you right now, and she ain't lying. She's telling you. And the problem is she's dealt with a lot of these men and she came up empty, no marriage. Because a lot of these men, they were sugar baby. She was a sugar baby. They were sugar daddy-ish. They were transactional relationships. She was one of many women that these men saw, and she was happy with her position. She was young. She'll say something like, well, I'm only 25. I met a woman in Australia like that. She kind of looked like her, but she was Moroccan. And she was like, well, I'm only 25. And she was gorgeous. All right. She was gorgeous, but she said, I had time. She ended up following me on Instagram. I followed her back. I see her story. All I see is boats, hotels, trips. Right? And she don't got a job for what I know. She ain't got that good of a job to be doing all of that. She in another country every fucking week. And I'm like, damn. But then when it comes to you, then you got to do the right thing. Then she gets to tell you what? You can do this. You can't do that. You can't play video games. You can't do that. I want you to do this. You can't go golfing. You got to take the kids. Okay? Right? This type of thing. So what she's not telling you was she was with the guy that was married. She was with the guy that she knew was married. All right. She was with the guy that was financing her, $5K allowance. She was with a guy that she knew he had other hoes. She didn't care. When you do it, she gonna care. All right. So when she finds you, that's why when she targets you, you got to be asking, are you the goofy?
And that's you.
She thinks she's doing you a favor. I'm giving you a chance to be with a person like me. Let's go ahead and continue, man, about her revealing her roster. Thank God for her doing this. And some of you guys would never believe it. Some of you guys would. Some of you guys think she's lying. She's not.
A man who sold weed.
Oh.
And who worked at Supreme. I really liked him. And now my current man, a private equity man, a Harvard man. There are some similarities between the men for sure.
Oh.
But you guys, I lived life. I dated. I tried things. I wasn't afraid. My brother looked at my journey, my experience, And he was like, you did that, girl.
Hey, what did I say earlier? What did I say earlier? I said a lot compared to what the women are, South America, Asia, guys will be like, well, you dating prostitutes. You guys are marrying prostitutes. I'm saying you're doing the same thing in America. They just call it something different. Okay? You're dating the same women. You're marrying the same women. They were prostitutes too. Because the way she said it, journey, dating. That's prostitute. That's the same thing as a dude marrying a bar girl here in Thailand. Same fucking shit. Same thing. My brother said, my journey. You did that damn thing. You dated whoever you want. Now it's time to settle down. Same fucking thing. Tell me, who think I'm lying? Who wants to debate me, bro? It's the same fucking thing. What she's describing is the same activity of a bar girl in Thailand. But they just disguise it with this lying and this mythical language and this constant agenda and changing the words. It is what it is, guys. Then she said, my new guy is nothing like the club promoter, the dude that sold weed, the married guy that flew her to Paris, the rock star, the drummer. He is the goofy. Okay. And she said, even the brothers in on it knew she was out here. Your journey.
Like, he gave me respect and props for my wanting to settle down now, because he knows that I was really out here living life on my terms.
Living life on my terms. Again, they just change up the language. Living life on my terms. Sounds like same thing, guys. Ain't no difference. That's why I'm looking at it like, yeah, y'all guys trying to get traditional relationships out of this is pathetic, man. But do y'all? Do you? I look at this girl as a fun girl. I'm gonna have fun with her for one night, and most of the time she's gonna get way too more expensive, and I'm gonna be like, that's good. That's crazy.
Doing my thing.
Doing my thing.
And having a ball.
And having a ball or two. Pause. And having a ball. Again, this is why I've been telling you, man. I avoid attractive older women at all costs. I never take them seriously. Nope. Now we can be fun and we can have an arrangement. We can do all that shit, but nope. Look how she looking back at her past. Look how she looking, smirking. But she tell you, but my past doesn't matter. Woo!
You girls spend too much time on the internet talking about dating. You're not really in the field. When I talk on the internet about dating, I know that I was in the field.
Is that what it's called now? She said it's the field. That sounds like the streets. All right, where am I in these streets? Oh my goodness, I don't have the damn thing in these streets. She said I was in the field. Oh my God, bro. Look, man. Y'all can't beat me in this conversation. Where's my street sound effect in here? I don't have the damn thing.
In these streets.
I was in the field. Look at how many ways they're disguising the language of what I've been trying to tell you. They're disguising the language. I was in the field. What it sounds like is you were selling pussy. Okay, to marry guys and single. And more power to you. But this is the deception of American dating. They just change the code words and then make it act like it ain't something. And then you say, these passport tricks marrying brothel girls. Okay, what are you marrying? What are you dating in America? Same goddamn thing. Okay.
I have witnesses.
Oh, she got witnesses.
And they give me respect.
They give me respect. Yep. I have witnesses. So everybody knows but you.
And when I say dating, I do not mean sleeping with men.
Oh, okay.
Because I probably slept with not even a quarter of them.
Come on, bruh. Here we go. See, they disguise that shit so good. Okay, which ones? Tell me which ones you slept with then. I bet you she won't do that. I bet you she won't do that. See, that's the disguising of the culture of America that y'all stuck with. And then y'all trying to fight out of this. Y'all trying to argue with this. She 34 years old already. I only slept with a quarter of them. Right. Did you suck their dick? How much detail are you willing to give me? Did they nut in your mouth? Which ones did what? Give me the details of who did what. She won't do it.
Because dating and being in an exclusive relationship are different.
Yeah.
Get in the field. Get in the fields, he told the ladies.
In these streets.
Again, this is what you're trying to defeat. The agenda. The agenda. Good luck out there, man. Yo, it's an evil ass world you live in. All right, we got the main event coming up. Let me get to some super chats. It's way too long. It's 1:30 in the morning. I still got time to go down to Soy 6 and get a girl on discount. You guys know if you get her before closing, you get a half price on the bar fine. Right? They're desperate. They're trying to make a little bit of money. You don't have to buy them 5 and 10 drinks. You can just go right in and be like, I'll take her. Yikes, gentlemen, it's an evil world we live in. Anyway, we got some donators to donate on this show. Almost 2,000 here. My numbers is looking interesting, Hassan Campbell style. YouTube messing with my numbers. All right, we still have a loyal, faithful group here. I appreciate you guys. I've been missing in action, but I've been having fun traveling the world and I'm going to try to do 2 more streams this week coming in Thailand. And then I'm going to be in Vietnam and South Korea messing with the other type of leans. We have Kaylin. Okay, we got like 3 or 4 people, maybe 5 or 6. Okay, we got Kaylin over on PayPal. He says, would you say that the greatest feminine conundrum or the female conundrum would be them fighting for their promiscuity while not wanting their body count to be revealed? If they say they don't need a man, why would they be scared to reveal this? They can do what men do. And that was a timely conversation. So again, you know, if they say the body count doesn't matter, then why are they scared to reveal it? You'll never know the truth, and you never will know the truth. But if you're bothered by it, like if that woman told me that and then didn't want to reveal her body count after that, I would be like, never mind. But that's the difficulty of dating in America, because I think what happens is people date way too long, and as a result, we get negative experiences. I don't think we were supposed to date this long, and women weren't supposed to have all these experiences with men and then fall into a line with other men. I don't think that's how it's supposed to be, but that's how we do it. And then when it doesn't work out, we go back and date more. Unfortunately, that's the case. I don't think this is a good thing overall, long-term. The damaging long-term effects of doing this. Joshua Moan says women definitely be texting 5 niggies at one time. Yeah, men that doesn't think so, you're crazy. Even your wife texts other men. They do. Ian Williams says, salute to Hollywood CGA. Have fun and enjoy your trip. Thank you, sir. Somebody's still going to ask where I'm at. Well, it's down at the bottom of the banner. We're in Pattaya, Thailand. Shout out to you. We're in Thailand. And the internet is good here as opposed to what it was in the Philippines. It was only good at night. It wasn't good during the day. So I had to stop streaming during the day. For some reason, it was all jammed up with all them Filipinos doing calling center calls because I was next to a calling center. Shout out to Kevin Sullivan says, Coach, these ninjas say that they don't pay, but I'm out here looking at pictures and videos of them at the Apple Dapple farms. Clown music. I don't have the clown music set up, but yeah, if you're taking pictures at the Apple Dapple farm and you're going to do pictures in front of Christmas tree, you're paying in that relationship. That relationship is not free at all. You go on a vacation, that's not a free woman. She's not free. You had to pay. In essence, if you don't pay, you're not going on vacation, you don't have the relationship. More than likely. Shout out to our brother here. I don't know what name you go by, but you don't normally go by that, but we'll call you BH. He says, I have a coworker whose wife told him that she had a doctor's note saying she can't perform head on him. She claims to have a medical condition that doesn't allow it. Bruh.
In these streets.
Bruh. And married men go through stuff like that. Coworker said his wife cannot drop that neck and went to the doctor to get a doctor to write a note to the husband saying she no longer can suck on his little, yeah, wow. That's cold world. Reneging at best. And what guys will do is they will not leave that woman. You think guys will have the gumption to leave that woman. He ain't going nowhere. He's stuck with her. And she knows that. She knows that. No government name says, I'll be back in Thailand in April for Songkran. I'm not sure what that is. What hotel is that, sir? Looks fly as hell. I want to check it out when I get back. This is the Hilton. This is the best hotel in Pattaya. I know somebody's going to say no. But even the people know that here. When you tell the girls I'm staying at the Hilton, they be like, really? All right, I'm going with you, daddy. All right, whatever you say. All right, I'm going with you. You staying at the Hilton? All right, you can get any girl to come back to the Hilton. Not all girls. Hey, by the way, a lot of these linglings don't want that long Kong Donkey Kong. All right, we know that. A lot of these lings are scared of niggas. They like, you ain't about to do all of that. They not used to get the long Donkey Kong. All right, they scared of just thinking you got a Donkey Kong. All right, and you don't even have to have a Donkey Kong out here. All right, you could have a medium Donkey Kong and they scared. That's the best thing about lings. All right, they ain't used to no nigga with no. They used to messing with these 3-inch gummy worm niggas.
What kind of fuck you give me?
All right, but when I be in the club and they be looking at me and they like, what you working with down there? They be like, let me feel. No, I ain't taking that back. I ain't taking that. No, fuck no. And then the horny ones be like, I want to go back with you. Let me try it. They be trying to get that Donkey Kong, that Black Snake moan. All right, but some of them lings looking at you like, no, nigga, don't look at me. All right, anyway, I won't tell too much information on that. That should be for locals. Yeah, the Filipinos want to go back, all right, because some of these women, these Asians, the Koreans, they don't want no Donkey Kong. They like, nah, fuck that. You ain't about to be out there trying to split me wide open. All right, yeah, man. Anyway, but I had a Thai woman going crazy over me the other day. She touching me. She was like, I want to take it. I gotta have it. All right, I was like, listen, Mama-san, I'm here for the younger girls, Mama-san. You're not working right now. Mama-san wanted to go back with me. King Genghis Adams, he says, why are American men obsessed with getting an American women with debt rather than bossing up and to get overseas with no debt? Get the women overseas with no debt. Is it just that Western men fell for the propaganda, hashtag the shield? Western men think they have the best women. They do. That whole mindset of dudes, the whole mindset of, again, the running game. Like, nobody's running game in these areas. I've been around the world. I've been almost to 26 countries. The only men running game are American men, and typically lower end American men. Like the fascination with having to work hard to get a woman is crazy to me. And it's the world doesn't do any of that shit. Ask a European guy, do they run a game on women? They don't. They don't even take them bitches out for dates. Ask a Filipino man. This is the crazy thing about it. A Filipino guy thinks Filipino women are just like dime a dozen. They're like, fuck these bitches. They don't even put no effort into it. None. But America, we got to do all of these crazy things to just talk to the woman. And guys take pride in it. And I get it. You've been groomed to believe that. But it's unnecessary. You don't have to do all of that shit. Not even in America do you have to do all that shit. It's unnecessary. But dudes will be proud. Well, you going over there because you can't get women over here, bro. You're doing way too much. Not even just the conversation, not even the money, not of the date. You're doing way too much to talk and impress these women. It don't take all that at all. Not even for the quality of the woman you're getting in America. That you don't even need to do all this. But you guys are like take pride in needing to do this. It's unnecessary. And I'm like, why are you taking pride in this? You're doing way too much. Anyway, way too much. Way too much. Shout out to our brother here. Why do Mitches see it as bragging to get the most out of not just women, but life for the least amount of effort? Fixing minds is international. Thanks for inspiring and showing Gen Z men the way to win. Hashtag purge the coochie commies. I think a lot of people do that. And they do that. Look, I was talking to a guy today. I was on a, I went to an excursion to this Buddhist temple here in Thailand. And the guy was telling me that he was talking about our flights. And then he said, yeah, he was like, dude, I got in at my back. I needed a massage. I was like, did you fly coach? And he was like, yeah. I was like, well, again, I was like, nah, I'm going to go ahead and pay the ticket for business class. And I'm like, I'm only flying business class. And once you fly business class or first class, it's hard to go back and fly international coach. So I'm like, I ain't never flying international coach. I did one time and I was like, fuck that. And it was on a flight back from Amsterdam. And I was like, never fucking again. And that was a mistake on my booking. So I always fly business class. And I was like, see, that's what happens, guys. That's what happens. You spare the expense, but you come back all bent out of shape, all cramped up, headache, sick. Niggas coughing on you. They got to go take a piss. You can't stretch your legs. You can't, like, business class. Go ahead and pay the extra expense. Now you don't need these massages. Because I walked past the massage parlor. I'm like, I don't need a massage. They're like, you need a massage. You've been on the airplane all day. Not me. All right. I laid back. I was asleep. I was asleep. So I'm not about to sit here, but what people will do is they'll try to go cheap as possible, but your experience will show. The experience will show. Cheap on the hotel, cheap on the flights. All right, cheap on the hotel, cheap on the flights, and you get there and you're all bent out of shape, and you need this and you need that, but you don't want to pay for this. Penny pinching, and not everybody got it. So I understand. But it does come back to haunt you. Shout out to our brother. It is the Mentoration Network. Steve says, love the content, enjoy Thailand. He says, I am King 68, the Great's manager, videographer, and I will be bringing him to Rio, Brazil, and Thailand for the next month or two. It's going to be crazy. Shout out to our brother here. It is King 68, the Great's manager, videographer. I did a segment on him last show about that hater. All right, but shout out to you, man. And maybe we can do some content because I'm King under 5'8", the Great. All right. And we can do some content too. But no, he's going to have fun in Brazil and Thailand for sure. He's going to definitely be a spectacle here for sure. All right. So have fun making some content there. He's going to get a lot going on there. It's going to be a little bit different, but you know, he's 6'8", so I'm pretty sure you're going to get some tremendous content with some Brazilian baddies out there. But the Thailand women might be scared of that nigga. They might be scared of him. All right, unless they really into something. Shout out to YouTube, guys. Says 2025 has flown by. It feels like it was just yesterday. We were talking about Travis Hunter being on the top 12 simps of Cheesemas, and Travis Hunter's been quiet. That was right at the beginning of the year, and that's already old news. Jacob Rivera says, you're a very wise coach. I have never met him before, but I wouldn't have known for sure, but you come off as your mentor you spoke about in the first chapter of your book, like carefree and never married, but you have been married, so you know how it is. Yes, indeed. And he says, what I am saying is you look like you were talking about yourself the way you look online, like always a free agent, never married, no kids, but you were married and had kids. So you talk about it with background experience. Shout out to you, Jacob. This is what, but sometimes people don't like the fact that I've been married and have kids, because then when they see me promoting a lifestyle, they're like, well, you already have been married and had kids. Should I get married and have kids, get divorced, and then live the free agent lifestyle? That's a tough conversation. Do I want you to hit your fucking head? Getting married is wonderful, man. I think family is everything. Family is everything. Having kids is great. But there's nothing that's 100% like that's the best thing to do. Because especially in America with divorce the way it is and the way people live relationships and the penalty to divorce, which we've talked about. The reason for there's penalties in divorce is to prevent what's happening in the Philippines. Is to prevent what I see men taking advantage of other people's lack of, the Filipino women have a lack of defending themselves. Brazilian women have a lack of defending themselves against men terrorizing them and abusing them and impregnating them and leaving. The women in Thailand have a lack of it. So what looks like that's a best case scenario for us, it's worst case scenario for the women. So as a result, in America, they give us a penalty for it. They give us a penalty for starting multiple families. They give us a penalty for marrying and divorcing and not taking care of your wife. They don't want women out here not having an ability to support themselves, or welfare has to do it. So as a result, there's a penalty associated with failing in marriage and failing with children and having multiple children by multiple women. There's a penalty. With that being said, you're signing up for that penalty. You're signing up for that penalty, meaning that if it doesn't work out, you're going to get penalized, and don't complain about it since you volunteered for that. You volunteer for that. So if you want to defeat me and say, well, coach, I'm going to just do it because you did it and you can't tell me not to do it. And I say, go for it. Roll the dice. I'm not going to stop you. But if it doesn't work, you're going to get penalized. Now, don't ask me to protest the penalties. We should protest and we should do something about this. We should change the laws. Nah, bro. I already told you what you're getting into. You fucking chose to do it. So roll the dice. If you just want to be against me and you think I'm causing men to make a tough decision, all I say is bet on yourself, nigga. Bet on black. Roll the fucking dice and deal with what comes with it. Because when you fail, it's tough titty. You up shit's creek. And I would not like when men get divorced, I'd never celebrate. Even if it's a guy that was against me and he got divorced, sometimes I'll be like, see, nigga, you had to learn. But I see guys and I go, man, bro, if you sign up for this shit, if it don't work, man, it's a bad situation. It gets worse. So know that going in. Don't just say, well, coach, you got to have kids, so don't tell me not to have them. And I say, I never told you not to have them. I just told you what it comes with. It ain't all picture perfect. Okay, it ain't all pictures at fucking Kmart and on vacation. It's tough work, and family is everything. I wish everybody could have a wonderful family and not have to deal with this bullshit. Okay, but go ahead and try to defeat me and get egg on your face, because you're gonna get that. You're gonna get egg on your face. And kids are expensive. You know what my son's college tuition is per year? $65,000 a year. 65K. Now, you see me buying this and flying there, I'm also covering that too. You talk about all these women I'm dating and how many women I'm sleeping with, but I'm also doing that. Do I get props for that, or am I done for that? What is it? Nobody's talking about that shit. No, that's for one motherfucking year, not for 1 year. That's for 1 year. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? So when you have kids, if you want to give them an advantage, don't cheap out on your kids. Just like I tell you, don't cheap out on these women. Okay? You want to support your kids, families, everything. Oh, well, coach, you had kids, but I'm still paying for them. They cost a lot of fucking money. And I'm not complaining about it, but they ain't free. Kids ain't free, nigga. Relationships aren't free. Pussy ain't free. Marriage ain't free. Getting divorced ain't free. Understand that. There's a penalty that comes with that. There's a expectation that comes with that. And I live that shit out. So don't just think, oh, I'm gonna just go have some kids. I'm gonna just go and get married. You're stopping me from getting married and have a kid. Go for it, nigga. Go for it. Knock your motherfucking self out. We talking about millions of dollars that you about to work for and spend. And sometimes you don't get no respect at the end of it. Nobody gives a fuck at the end of it. They'll tell you not to do it at the end of it. They'll tell you, go for it. But don't think it's going to be all shits and giggle and fun times and Motherfucking playing the monster and picking your kids up, playing airplane and all that shit, and taking pictures and okay, so go for it. If that's what you want to do, I'll never stop you from doing that, because that's why we're here as people, because people made that decision. But what's going to come with that is trade-offs. There are going to be good times and bad times. There's going to be a lot of stress, having babies and raising them to be kids and teaching them to be good people, and then not having them kill you when you 69, Rob Reiner, having them to turn out to be good average citizens. Take a look at you as a people. All you people right now, you guys are mediocre, lackluster motherfuckers. I want you to think about that. And you were someone's kid. Look how the fuck you turned out. You a loser. Niggas is all fat, goofy, gooning. Ain't turning into shit, call center ass niggas. Y'all ain't turning into a goddamn thing. Why? Because your parents didn't invest shit in you to begin with. Some parents invested some shit into you, and you still a motherfucking mediocre motherfucker. Think about that shit. You still a mediocre ass nigga at the end of the goddamn day. Doing mediocre shit and convincing me to do mediocre shit because you a mediocre motherfucker. Think about this goddamn shit. You were somebody's motherfucking kid that they decided to have, and look at you, nigga. Who you think your kid's gonna be, you mediocre bitch ass nigga? But I want to have kids. Okay, go have them, mediocre motherfucking kids, slave kids. Okay? Shit, go for it, nigga. If that's what you want to be, you mediocre piece of shit, nigga. Get free for life, bitch, nigga. Go for it, you bitch, nigga. You fat motherfucker. Fat motherfucking nigga want to have kids, to have more fat ass kids. Goofy ass nigga. All right, and that goes for you white motherfuckers too. I don't give a fuck who it is. You a loser, you gonna have loser fucking kids with a loser bitch too, more than likely. Go for it. Why? Because you lonely? Go for it, nigga. Shit, beat the system, bitch. Go be a fucking henpecked ass husband with your wife telling you not to turn on the PlayStation. All right, go for it, nigga. If that's gonna make your life happy, sign up, roll the fucking dice. But this shit gonna cost you millions of dollars. Or if it don't cost you millions of dollars, that means the taxpayers gonna have to pay the tab. You poor broke motherfucker. So you want to have kids in a marriage so I can pay for your fucking failed parentage. You welfare piece of shit, nigga. Go for it. Hey, that won't cost me nothing because I'm paying the goddamn tab for you welfare queens as a taxpayer. But do it. Think shit free, and you think shit all happies and shits and giggles. It ain't. Shout out to Johnny Vegas says, hope you're enjoying the lanes. He says, we got the Breakfast Club crashing out at the fact that hip hop is dying. Radio station Hot 97 was just shut down after 30 years. Now they're blaming the so-called lames, and Mano was upset. Academics called them the teenier citizens. So yeah, listen, the hip hop industry, shout out to all my hip hop people. You guys are fucking World Wrestling Federation to begin with. Okay, so do not be mad at the lames, like you call academics, for shining a mirror on your fucking fraudulent system. Okay, you guys were lying. You guys were full of shit. You guys were capped. You were lying about everything you did in them lyrics. You only did them shits. Most of the time you did them shits before you was doing the lyrics. Most of the time you only was shit after you became a rapper. All right, whatever. All right, trying to uphold a fake fraudulent system called hip hop. All right, hip hop was dead a long time ago, and hip hop was co-opted by the you-know-who's back when Public Enemy was taking over. All right, and made y'all put on the Humpty nose and talk degeneracy and shit like that. Go get the fuck out of here, hip hop. Man, good riddance to hip hop. I don't give a fuck. Good riddance to all the motherfucking keeping it real ass niggas. We keeping it real. Nigga, fuck all y'all. Fuck all y'all. For real. Ain't nobody give a fuck about y'all. Anyway, Go somewhere, nigga. Go figure out something else to do. You washed up rappers, nigga. Go make a podcast. Lying on your lyrics and shit, and then mad when y'all get exposed 50 years from down the line. Get the fuck out of here, bro. How y'all sold motherfucking drugs and you was a drug kingpin, nigga. Now you a rapper and you was a gangbanger and you shot 50 people. But then when you shoot one niggas and you on a murder trial, you praying for your life. I don't want to go to jail for murder. Nigga, you murdered like 80 people on your records. Talking about how you murdered this and you shot that and you pulled this back and you had this on the banana clip. Now you on one motherfucking trial and you praying for your life. Man, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. It's the World Wrestling Federation. Yep, they in court crying. All right, yeah, okay, but okay. You don't realize I was fighting for my life. You was on every record admitting to all of these crimes. Ain't nobody got time for this shit. I don't give a fuck about rappers. I don't give a fuck about their industry dying. I don't care. I don't feel shit. It was a lot of good times, but I hope it turns into disco at this fucking point. All right. All right. I hope that shit turns into disco. Fuck them. They close down all the hip hop state, especially with this new fucking rap. I don't give a fuck about none of this new rap. All right. Anyway, rap can fucking die a miserable death as far as I'm concerned. How do you really feel, coach? All right. Anyway, fraudulent ass rappers mad that everybody else fraudulent, other fraudulent niggas then invaded their industry. Fuck out of here. Anyway, what are we doing? All right, the main event, 5K allowance is what we're talking about. Allowance for your girlfriend. The monetized dating marketplace is becoming less than overt or less than covert for your girlfriend. All right, sorry, I was doing it live. Is 5K allowance a good enough allowance for your girlfriend? Where is this coming from? Well, it's coming from the fact that the monetized dating marketplace is leaking into the regular dating marketplace. Okay. But also dating stems from prostitution. So the fact that you guys thought romance was free has been a misnomer. It was for a period of time, but even then it really wasn't. When you look at the long-term relationships, short-term relationships can be kind of like free. The woman can use sex as a loss leader to keep you into the relationship. And then once you get into the actual relationship, there's a cost to it, right? You got to pay rent, air conditioning, bills. Sometimes people break up and have divorces because of the finances. When you become a mature adult, you will see that relationships are all monetized. But because we lived in a time of R&B and, movies like Love and Hip Hop, like not Love and Hip Hop, Love and Basketball, and the Jones and all this shit. You guys think that relationships should work where there's no finances that are going to be a part of the relationship. And I'm like, dude, mature, grow up, really realize that there's a cost to it, especially long-term relationships. Now, monetized dating, which I've been calling it, I've coined the phrase. Shout out to Andrew Tate for using it recently and Myron Gaines for using it recently. A lot of people are just going to start stealing my swag when the reality shows up that CGA been saying this for years, that this is going to be the new way people date. It's going to be literally right there in your face, and there's nothing you can do about it. The agenda, the propaganda is going towards it. And because women have been engaging in this behavior covertly for many years, they've now brought this to the regular marketplace. Why? Just like that previous light-skinned woman that said she dated this and this and this and this. Well, she's used to that. You thought she was just dating these guys, and then she's like, oh no, these guys, there was some payment involved. And then you're like, well, you were a prostitute. And she says, no, I was just on my journey. I was just on my journey. I was just in the field. But now I want a guy that wants a relationship is going to pay. So that world, when she was in college and living her journey and flying around, getting flued up, now this is her reality. So she's got to date this way now. She's got to get into a relationship and marry this way. Now, what about the guys? You're going to hear a couple of guys talk about this. I have 3 guys talking about this. The guys that are going to talk about this, number one, have either participated in this way and you didn't know it. For instance, the game. I've been telling you a lot of times that these rappers don't just get regular women. They don't get women for free like you think. When they come out here with a girlfriend or one of these IG models, they're not free. Same thing as the athletes and the celebrities. You think because he's an athlete, he gets them for free. Well, he did at one point, but at some point, it became less cost effective to get him for free. It became costly, meaning that he dated Brittany Renner for free, but he knocked her up. then it's costing him millions of dollars on the back end. So what does they do? They get with these type of women and then they parade them around on the internet and you think they're free. And I'm like, no, they're paying for those women. No, they not. They can get any women they want for free. But should they get women for free? They know that it can be costly to get them. For instance, Paul George, Shannon Sharp. All right, just go down the line. Go down the line from woman to woman to woman. And you're like, damn, these dudes literally been tricking on them. Oh, they messing up the game. And I'm like, these Instagram models are not with these guys for free. They're not. I mean, some are, most aren't. Okay. What about the Michigan guy? The University of Michigan guy. He was married. Then he was banging his white. He was married to a white woman, which doesn't matter to me. It matters to you. Then he was banging that assistant for a few years. He gave her an increase in pay 55% in one calendar year. Then he was paying her hush money to shut the relationship down. Was that free? Was that free? Okay, let me explain it again. He was banging. He was married to a woman he was paying for because she was a stay-at-home wife. Then he was banging the assistant to him, and he took her salary from 50 to 90K in 1 year. Then he was paying her hush money to keep the relationship quiet. Was that free? Then he lost $30 million contract. Then it was disclosed, allegedly, that he was texting an OnlyFans model and was going to give her free season tickets to run a train on her and her friends. Was that free? Was that free? See, men don't get it. He said that was money Michigan paid. Yep. And I'm looking, and then Shannon Sharp, I'm looking and I'm going, bruh, y'all think when y'all see a guy with a woman that he got her for free. And I'm like, that's not true. He leveraged something. He did something. He enticed her with something. And you're like, how this regular guy? And then you'll point out the one instance where it's the habit. I'll say, is that the exception to the rule, or is that the rule? All right. Are you showing me the exception and trying to prove it to be the rule, or are you showing me the actual rule? Because you told me about this broke nigga that banged that one girl. Okay, yeah, I see that all the time. I see him bang a few other girls. That's him. That's the exception. So now you're seeing the word allowance leak into regular relationships. Where did allowance come from? Sugar baby. That literally came from sugar baby relationships. Now, there have been women that have been on allowances even in the 80s and 90s, even before that. And remember that one woman that was in the red pill space, I can't remember her name. She was getting what was she getting? $100 a week as an allowance? So allowance has been around for a long time, but now we're seeing it come back in the lexicon. And the reason why is because a lot of women are participating in relationships where allowance is either discussed, present, or they have friends that have already done it. They've done this type of arrangement already. They've done this type of relationship already. So they're going into regular relationships expecting an allowance. Or a guy will participate in that rapper, the game, and now he says, oh, yep, she gets an allowance. Now, this is something I've been telling you is going to become more popular and prevalent, and you can't do anything about it. Like, you can't stop the game from doing this. You can't stop any other guy from doing this. You can call them a name, but that's not going to stop them, because you also have a group of men that can't compete. They don't have time to run game. They don't have time to mac these hoes. They don't have time. So their way around it is to do this. That's their way around it. They don't have time. They have money. And this is the way they feel like they're going to do it. Now, you guys want me to take a stance against it. I'm not going to. You guys can call them whatever you want. You can call the women whatever they want. You can call the men whatever they want. You're not going to stop it. It's going to be the most prevalent way people are going to do relationships in the next 5 to 10 years. You can deny me, but you're now seeing it. Have you not seen it since I've been talking about this for years? You now see it now. You're going to talk. I'm going to show you videos. You're going to see more and more people engage in this type of relationship. Let's start with the first one. And this is a guy that says $5K budget a month for your girlfriend. Girlfriend. Okay. Girlfriend. Here we go right here, pulling it up. Here it is.
You is depending if you can afford it. Give your lady a budget allowance a month, right? I feel like I have low and high months, but now I'm getting to my higher months now. Last month business did, I'm just saying over 50K. But you should give your lady allowance. If you could afford 1K, 1K. If you could afford 2K, 2K. If you could afford 3K a month, 3K. And that allowance should cover her nails, eyebrows, manicure, pedicure, whatever. A massage once a month. Should also include her gas, car wash. Should also include her waxes, her laser treatment. And also, if she wanted to go to the spa, get like a facial, whatever, a hydrofacial, whatever. That was kind of expensive though. But depending, because if your girl is your piece, you should allocate some of the money you're making to help her stay peaceful, so you can be more peaceful as well. Because if you've been working all day, and you come back home, you don't want to be arguing. It's like, okay, hey babe, how about you? Here's a massage treatment. Here's a spa treatment. You've been stressed out. Because she's stressed out, you're gonna be stressed out. Now your business is gonna flop. Simple as that. So I would say a good budget, depending on how much you make, 2K, 3K, 4K, 5K, depending on how much you make a month. You know, if you're only making like 8K a month, maybe only $500 a month. But you're making 50K a month, 5K doesn't sound too crazy. 4K.
Hold on for a second. I was muted. Sorry about this. You hear this real quick. And I did a stream on this. The stream I did on this was to show you what it takes for a woman's maintenance. And this is a typical average Americanized woman. Not a woman in Eastern Europe and this type of thing, although you will find that there's some women that will go for that over there. The reason why men don't understand this is that they don't understand what it costs for a woman to maintain themselves. Let's just take an average, regular, highly attractive woman. Guys, by the time you get the body waxing, and if she's getting manicure and pedicures, which she would like at spa treatments and oil of Olay and whatever the fuck she wants to do in clothes, shoes, shopping, it's going to be way more than 5K if you just take the rent. Now, the reason why this is important is because guys think beauty doesn't cost. A lot of men will then say, I want a natural beauty. I want a woman that doesn't like to do any of those things. She's just natural. Well, there's not that many natural women out here. Okay. If she's natural and she's still attractive as natural, she probably ain't going to fall down to you because you accept her being natural. And even natural women cost, right? Their haircuts cost, and it comes out looking natural, and there's a cost to it. And you're like, damn, it's super cuts, but there's a cost to it. Nothing's free. Even for you as a man, we tend to not need all of these extra things, but think about it. Haircut, shave, whatever we're doing, clothes, whatever it is, we can do it on less of a budget and there's still a cost. But when you go down to what women want and then go down to their needs, then you talk about highly attractive women, they got to come at a cost. And then I said this. Then I said 5K ain't even enough for that. The problem is in America with the American women is 5K can't even keep them off the market. Not in this game. If she's in Los Angeles, New York, Miami, and I did a whole stream on this. If you gave a woman 5K, she still need another 5K to live, meaning that she got to go to work still. She might have to have another sugar daddy still. She might have to jump on OnlyFans still, Instagram model. She might be still willing to get flown out by another man. 5K ain't even going to cut it in Miami. Trust me. Let's just say you wanted her all to yourself, and she's a hot baddie with these trick-ass millionaires. 5K ain't covering no baddie. 5K is not covering a baddie. All right, but Mobile, Alabama, with some swamp buster will cover it. That'll be more than enough. That's if you wanted to participate in that. So what do men do? No, I don't want to. I can't afford her. So they go down, not to the woman you want, but the woman you can't afford. That's called monetization. That's still monetized dating. Guys, when you argue with me, I'm like, bro, just you saying you can't afford her. She high maintenance. I can't afford her. When you cut the tab in half, when you say I'll take less, you're still dating monetized. How you don't get that? You're basically saying she's unaffordable, she's affordable. Come on. When you say, well, I'd rather stay single and stack my money, that's monetized dating. That's monetized dating. You're still making a choice on the money. You're admitting that it costs to date. You say, stay single, I'll stack more money. That's still monetized dating. Okay. When you say, I'll take a natural girl that don't need her toenails painted, that's still monetized dating. Because you're basically subtracting that cost for the maintenance of her because she decides to keep her toenails bare. Okay. When you say, well, she doesn't need all that, she prefers to wear sweatpants all day, you made a choice not because you liked her, but because you can afford her. Because if you had enough money, you would get the woman you can afford. It wouldn't be an issue. Now, you don't have to do this. What I'm telling you is you guys are inherently doing this, and then you don't realize it. Then you're arguing with me about it. I'm like, bro, okay, date the woman that expects less. You're basically pricing yourself. You're dating the woman you can't afford by price. So let's go ahead and talk about this. This guy's talking about this, and let's go look at the comment section. This is what I wanted to look at. Okay, the comment section. Here we go. May your pockets never run dry. You're allowed to have a mic. Help her stay peaceful so you can be at peace. There's no men in the comments. If she's at peace, then you're in heaven. These are all lies, by the way. There are no men in the comment section. That's a king right there. So you're seeing that what the women are saying in the comments. Now, this is who I'm voting for president. You're approved to have a podcast. Bless this man. Okay. The thing is, as a person that is going to engage in this, you're going to be at an advantage if you can afford it. Okay. All right. Yes, baby. If you can afford $100, it's not a small amount. It's the effort. A provider is a percentage, not a dollar amount. Okay. Told my son his woman should never have to pay a bill. But what do you tell the daughter? She should never depend on a man. Okay. My ex gave me $500 allowance, and I was so happy I couldn't imagine $5K. I've seen enough. You can have a podcast. Okay. You see the support here. And the reason why I'm identifying that is because you're now seeing the women come out and say, yep, this is what we want. Now, are they going to get them? No. Or if they get them, they're going to share that man. Will the women be willing to share a man that provides this? You're probably going to find out that half of them will. So monogamy is now, you bought yourself out of monogamy. Will these women look the other way if you got a girlfriend or a side piece on the side and you're making $50K? 5K goes to her and you got another girl that gets another 2 or 3K. They're going to literally look the other way. Some of them will. Yeah, whatever. But you see where the priority lies. It's not what you thought. Oh, I just want a man for myself and I want this and that. What are they participating in? Monetize. Okay, let's go to the next video. The next video is Yada Awakening. Okay, before we get to the game. Yada Awakening here. Yada Awakening says this, and you guys know him. He says, man says he pays his wife $150K every time she gets pregnant and $150K a year per child until they turn 18 and an extra $250K for being a stay-at-home mom. His wife makes $1 million a year. Okay, you guys know him. Let me see if there has music on this, so I can't really play it.
Pampering my woman is a requirement. $150,000 per child when she.
All right, so they have music in the background, so I'm not going to play it. Okay, the important thing is let's take a look at the comment section. Okay. I love this, but deep down inside, I would like to know what goes on behind closed doors. Good question, because what goes on behind closed doors is not what you think. Okay, so he's not monogamous. That's what goes down behind closed doors. Okay, now some women will want this and they will want the monogamy too. Oh, I want you to be monogamous and faithful. No. This is what the money is for. So I think he's polyamorous or polygamist. Okay, somebody, again, here's the thing. Somebody says, what responsibilities or obligations does she have for that 5K? Exactly. This is what the conversation never gets to, because men keep looking at the number and saying, I'm out. Okay, but once you put the number up there, then you can start saying, this is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to do. And if she says, I'm not going to do it, you kick rocks. Bye. You can't qualify. So you're not even having the conversation. You're not even going through the trial period, the audition, and getting to month 6 to try to get her on your program. You put her on her program on week 1. All right, I'm going to give you this. This is what you're going to do. And as soon as she says no, you say bye-bye. And then she said, oh, wait a minute, I changed my mind. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. You change your mind. Why? Because you can be bought. Because everybody has a price. As soon as they change their mind, you got a trial period again. All right, I'm going to put you up here. And then as soon as she does something wrong, you pull the money from her. Now, you got to ask yourself, if the women are asking for this, but also if you do it, they say you're controlling her by money, you guys got to realize there's no win with these women. Because in one instance, you're a king for doing it, but then you're a piece of shit for kicking her to her curb and leaving her with nothing. Well, that's what you agreed to. And you fucked up. You didn't follow my program. Now you got no money. You see, the problem with this whole conversation is that women want this type of dynamic, but when they get it, some women still play the victim. You're financially abusing me. All right. I risk everything. I gave up everything to be your girl, but I broke one rule and you kicked me to the curb and now you got you a new girl. Or I can afford to have 5 girls. A woman will say, hey, I want a guy that gives me an allowance. And I said, well, okay, I got enough to give 5 girls an allowance. She's like, I'm not comfortable with that. Okay, kick rocks. Again, you said you want an allowance, but you also want to dictate the rules of the relationship. You want monogamy on top of that. Bitch, I'm paying to be non-monogamous. The game is going to talk about that. This is where guys don't let the conversation go because y'all too focused on the money. And then also, soon as she wants to do her own programming, I want 5K allowance and I still want to keep a job and I still want to fuck these other guys and I still want, and then you say no. But you guys negotiate with nothing, and then she comes in and does that. Well, I'm going to date all these other guys. I'm going to talk to these other guys. I'm going to do all of this shit. And then you say, Coach, why these girls be doing this on the side? Because you're coming in with no leverage. You can't dictate anything giving her nothing. Then she wants to put it up your Duke shoe. Pause. For people that don't know, that was part of the early part of the show where she said she wanted to strap on and peg her boyfriend. Well, when you come in with nothing, you got to negotiate that. Or she says, I'm going to go to the other dude that won't let me peg her. Pegging. Pause. Come on, man. The tough part of the conversation for the men is we never let the conversation go a little bit further to talk about where the leverage point is. So what do? I'm going to just try to go get one for free. Go for it. Tell me how that works out for you. When I say free, I mean long-term, not short-term. Not some woman you fucked and almost fucked. We're talking about women that you have long-term, that you put no money in. Show me. Show me. You can't. I promise you, you can't. Very few men can. Because I know it's impossible for most men to pull off. All right. There is some bum ass niggas that can pull this off. But those are exceptions to the rule. When you talk about real relationships, they're going to be a cost to it. All right. And most men are never going to pull that off. I don't care how hard you try. You're never going to pull it off. So here's where it's going. It's going to La La Land. And it says right here, men, listen to him. The reason why he is so unbelievably successful is because he put her first. So nurture his soul. She nurtures his soul because he obeys God Almighty. I promise he sounds like my husband. Okay. Is she allowed to have friends? See, here it is. This is a good one. Is she allowed to have friends? Seems like she's just there to be put on display. I follow and listen to both of you. It just seems like she doesn't have a life outside of you. Is that not allowed once you're married? I really want to know this. See, she's asking the right questions. Because what they aren't telling you is she ain't allowed to have friends. More than likely. Ecclesiastically. She definitely don't have male friends. I can guarantee you that. Not at that amount. She don't got no male friends. She probably does everything he asked her to do. Matter of fact, allegedly, he went upside her head with a weight plate. So I'm telling you, a lot of women will take that deal and then want you to still follow the programming of the agenda. So she's asking the question, do I still get to do my bullshit outside? Nope. As a man that's participating in the monetized dating marketplace, you will be shocked at the amount of women that will turn it down so they can still play reindeer games out here. They can still have their male friends, they homies they went to school with, go to the club, the nightclub, the girls' trips, and they want $5K allowance. Because they'll take the money. I'll take the money. But I also want to have my own life. I want to have my own job, my own career. I want to have my own life. So the women that will say they won't take the money, I won't take $5K allowance because I want love. What they also want is their own freedom to do whatever the fuck they want. So that's what they're paying for. All right, I don't want the money because I don't want a man to control me. I want to still have my male friends. I want to still have my supervisor or my boss. I still want to have my own career. I still want to go on girls' trips. I still want to do all that stuff. That's why you see them not participating in it. Not because they can't be bought, is that they don't want to be controlled. So that's the part of the monetized dating marketplace nobody talks about. But as a man that knows it, trust me, they want no parts of this right here. Is she allowed to have friends? Seems like you're just putting her on display. Well, of course he is. That's why she's getting paid. That's what comes with the money. Yeah, she want to double dip. All right, I want the money and to be out there still doing what the fuck I want to do. Nope. See, Yada Awakening doesn't even tell you that. He ain't that dumb. He ain't that dumb to say I control everything she does, when and where she comes. If she has an Instagram, what she posts. That's when you will see women back out of that shit. No, I don't want to be that. When you tell her she can't come down in her comfy clothes and pajamas. See, some of these things that you negotiate with women is because you have no leverage. Hey, why you wearing that? Why you so sexy? Why you posting that on Instagram? The reason why you got to go through that is because you have no leverage. You understand what I'm saying here? I know you don't want to agree with it. The reason why you argue with her is because you got no leverage. A man that gives a woman an allowance ain't arguing with her. The reason why you have to put up with sexless marriages is because you got no leverage. Whereas if you had the leverage, soon as you go reach for some pussy, she opening her legs. And that doesn't even have to be the money. That just because that's what it's about. She knows what time it is. So when you don't have leverage, you got to deal with bullshit. That woman even said it in the conversation. Why can't I have friends? Why you just put me on display? Why can't I be in my comfy clothes? Why can't I just have my hair down? Why can't I put a bonnet? Oh, man, these women be wearing bonnets around the house. If I got leverage, she never got a bonnet on. But y'all fuck women with bonnets on. Y'all have to have sex with her lazily while she got a bonnet on. Rollers in her hair. A scarf on her head. She ain't even prepare herself for the day. She around the clothes just with her titties out. Bra titty sagging all down here with a tank top. She ain't washed her muff huff all day. And that's where y'all got to have relationships. You guys realize you're doing that because you don't have leverage. But then when they say, this is how you gain leverage. Oh, man, well, I ain't paying. I'm not doing this. And I'm like, okay. You see where your conundrum is. You see where you have a problem. This is why you rather just stay single. And I don't mind that. But a man, if you giving her allowance, you get to tell her, brush your teeth in the morning. You get up before I get up. Soon as I start moving around, tossing and turning, you hear me stop snoring, you get up. Brush your teeth. I might want to have sex right there. Well, I want sex under love. No, listen, I just need to get this nut real quick. Be available for me to get that nut. Then when I'm done and I jump in the shower and wash my dick off, go down there and make me some breakfast. Now, I'm going to tell you this once, twice. I shouldn't tell you this every time. If I need to tell you this every time, you're fired. She'll say, well, I didn't think you wanted breakfast. I told you that this was going to be how it works. I told you that once, twice. I gave you these instructions. I shouldn't have to tell you this is the expectation every time. Well, I felt like you didn't want it. You're never having this conversation. You're never having this conversation. But you guys want it for free. And so you have to have the conversation over and over and over and over again. And then when she doesn't do it, then you like, well, why coach these women don't do this? Because what are you giving her? Nothing. No instructions, no nothing. No incentive, no financial support to do it, nothing. So what does she do? She gets up and she runs off, gets ready for work, puts on her hair and makeup, and runs out the fucking door. And you're sitting there with nothing, having a goon in your own relationship. I think the problem is overall that I don't think most women are suitable for this type of relationship. They think they are, but they're not. And this is where the problem is, because you're thinking I'm advocating for it. I'm not. I'm telling you this is a way to do it. This is how people are doing it. But I'm also telling you that you guys are going to do it and not give them expectations. And then the women that do it, they're also double dipping on you. So I don't think most women deserve this. But the men that are doing it, I can guarantee you they're putting all of these restrictions you think women should come naturally programmed with, and they don't. They come naturally unprogrammed with it. They literally will fight you tooth and nail and argue you in the relationship to not do any of these things. And you're negotiating it, thinking that they naturally are going to do it. They're naturally going to stop talking to their male friends. They're naturally going to know to get dressed properly around you. They're naturally going to stop posting scantily clad pictures on their Instagram. They're naturally going to be dedicated to you. They're naturally going to, you think they're naturally going to do these things. They're not anymore. They don't naturally come like this, ecclesiastically. If you think they do, you're going to be fighting tooth and nail with these women. They're going to fight you tooth and nail. You think they naturally want to do house chores? Do you think they naturally want to? Most of them do not want to do this shit. You think they naturally want to do videos with you for your YouTube? They don't. All right. Anyway, let's get in here. So that's Yada Awakening, and then we'll do the game. Okay, pause. And by the way, this is the counter programming to the red pill. If you guys don't realize, the red pill was able to get to great heights for many years, but now you're seeing the platforms engage in legitimate counter programming to what the red pill has done for the last 10 to 15 years, 10 years really. And they're going to start promoting more and more of this message over the red pill. Just to let you know. And the Department of Homeland Security said as much in their investigation when they revealed their top 10 list of poisonous red pill content creators, which MTR was number 2. Okay, just so you guys know that this type of message, the platforms are going to want to push forward to prevent the popularity of men being anti-marriage. And somebody says CIA might get involved too. Guys, the CIA has been already involved. Not the CIA, but CIA mostly engages in anti-United States issues. But these government entities already, Joe Biden's administration has been proven to interfere with this type of content and censoring people, and particularly, and that was in 2020. But for people that don't realize this, pro-marriage content is going to be here. Even the fact that, you know, we have a former Fed officer that is a part of the space and one of the most predominant voices in the space should tell you enough, right? That should tell you enough about the infiltration. Infiltration COINTEL programs happen very early in any type of stuff that goes on the internet, outside the internet. They all get involved. Look at the movie, I think they call it The Klansman, where they had the federals engaged in that. So there's always going to be infiltration. There's always going to be counterintelligence, surveillance, lists, files, and then counter programming. Always. And it's been early on in this space. Early on. It's not a mistake. With that being said, the platforms have been constantly engaging in this type of content being pushed forward that is anti this content to promote more men doing this type of thing here. All right, but anyway. Enough about that. Somebody says, I worked for the NSA for years. Yeah. I don't know what you said before that. He says they have extensive domestic strategies. Oh, okay. So shout out to you. I was saying they were more not domestic, but they do have domestic strategies. But yeah, this is not a surprise at all. They definitely do domestic psyops. It's not a surprise. So yeah, don't think that that's not what you're seeing happening. And I know this for a fact. So I know that this has been happening. They've been giving us the evidence to that. So counter programming, when they said Andrew Tate has been doing things for middle school kids, and they said we need to reprogram these boys. What does that mean? We need to give them content geared towards anti-Andrew Tate messaging, because these guys are already saying Andrew Tate stuff in the middle school classroom. All right, so we need to give them content that is not geared for that. Did you guys see Instagram came out with Instagram preteens, Instagram teenage accounts? Australia has banned social media for 16-year-olds. That doesn't mean they're not going to get it. What we're saying is they're banned it. They made steps to ban it. So as you can see, the government entities are getting involved, especially for younger age people that are going to get this content. So that is a form of counter programming. Okay, we don't want these kids to get this. We don't want them to hear this message. And then we also don't want the men that have this type of content to reach more people. We want them to get a message. Instead of watching CGA's video getting suggested, we're going to demonetize CGA. We're going to make it so he can't grow. But what we're also going to do is we're going to show you this guy saying 5K allowance for your wife, girlfriend. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue with the game. This is him ironing out 5K a month, the game on giving a woman 5K a month. And let's see what he comes up with in terms of why.
Week minimum of $200 lashes, $300 hair, $250 nails, $200 toes, $200 makeup, $500 lunch money, $500 drink with the homegirls, and $1,000 for clothes, not including rent, car note, bill help.
Yeah, I think that is bare minimum for a woman that you're taking serious.
$500, $750, $950, $1,150, $1,650, $2,150, $2,250, not including rent, car note. Damn.
Yeah.
Now that's interesting for Shannon to say damn when allegedly he agreed to give $20 million to a woman that he was in a sexual relationship with. And again, both of these men are, Shannon Sharpe is paid way more than what the game is proposing he is paid. Okay. Way more. Shannon Sharpe is working for this woman at this particular point. Every two episodes he does, one goes to the woman that he was engaged with. Okay. And he could have got off way cheaper by going $25K a cheek, if I'm not mistaken. That was what the original proposal was. And a lot of guys said he was tricking on that girl to begin with, and he wasn't. She tried to turn it into that once she realized he was cheating. Okay, let's continue.
So that's like $5-6 grand a month, gang.
That's low. That ain't, $5 grand.
Oh yeah, for LA, that's really low.
Like, we live in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
Even if you give a woman $5 grand, right, and she has a decent apartment,
yeah,
that's it's $2,700 for a decent one.
Easy.
She has a car, no car insurance. That's gonna be about $1,000. So that's $37. Right? She got
she riding the bus for $1,000 a month.
Her self-care. Her self-care, man. That's gonna be about $1,000.
Yeah,
so
because you want to look nice.
Now you have $4,700.
Yeah.
So then the bill, cell phone bill, all that, she gonna be flat broke.
Yeah.
So what I was saying is, if you're going to take a woman serious and you're the type of man that I am, like, I'm a caretaker. That is my
you take over everything. You hit the door. You like, I got this.
I got you. If we're exclusive, this is what I think that you deserve based on how I was raised by the three women that I was raised by, which would be my aunt, my auntie Pat, my mother, and my grandmother.
That's Code Shannon to get $50 in line.
Okay. All right. That's Shannon Sharpe advertising his gambling site. All right. Shout out to him. But I'll leave it to you right there. You guys see what that is. And for me, as a guy that's been in relationships and marriages, this is a no-brainer. Okay, this is a no-brainer. To know what modern dating is turning into and what it's turned into, this is a no-brainer. For a person that's been dealing with sugar babies for 5 years, this is a no-brainer. This is common. But where it's not as common is where men don't understand, and this is where men come in late, is that men come in late in the game And they don't realize that women have already been participating in these former relationships when she shows up with you in some form or fashion, either through marriage, divorce, child support, any of these type of relationships. Sometimes it's monetized. Sometimes when she was in college, she was a sugar baby, or she stripped to pay her way through college. She dated an older guy and he took care of expenses and she never asked for it. In some form or fashion, she participated in something like this. She's never paid for a date. Guys used to fly her out. Dudes used to take her on vacation. I've seen it, especially in high areas like Los Angeles, Orange County, San Diego, Miami, New York. They've already kind of engaged in these relationships. Are they consistent? No. She doesn't have a consistent source of income. They're off and on. They're for a couple of weeks, a couple of months, maybe a couple of years tops. Then she'll go back to a regular guy, normie broke guy. She'll try to make that work. And then she'll, it really doesn't work out for me because, well, I need a guy that really covers this. So then they show up with you in front of your face and you have to figure out how to negotiate around this. And this is going to be more difficult as the time goes forward. That's why I came up with my course to really tell guys that most guys don't have, you're not even going to have a leg to stand on. Even Corey Holcomb just recently said, and I don't think he stole this from me, wink, he said 80% of women will be engaging in these type of relationships. I said 40% of women are engaging in these type of relationships right now. 40%. 40%. And I'll show you the data related to this. Let me see. Let me see right here. Here it is right here. Meaning that they either have or would be willing to. It says right here, 47% of American women developed a positive view of hypergamy, which means seeking a partner of higher status and wealth after understanding the term. So after hearing what hypergamy is, which men have been saying hypergamy, hypergamy, hypergamy. When women learned what that was, they said, yeah, that's a positive term. I think hypergamy is okay. So 47% of women, when learning what that is, said, yeah, of course, I deserve it. Or what about the whole phrase of high value man? By the way, Kevin Samuels, rest in peace to the legend, became popular. Why? Because he was setting black women straight? No. Because he was trying to change the culture? No. You know why he became popular? Because women wanted to know what it took for them to get a high value male. And they called into his show. If he did not have that angle, he would not have had a rise in popularity. He brought up the phrase high value male. He talked about what it took to become one, trying to talk to men. Then the women said, oh, how do I get one then? That's why he became popular. Not because he was telling black women what to do and how they should become better women. He became popular because women called him to find out how they could get one. And that was in 2020. It's now the year of our Lord 2026. And you guys still fighting monetized dating? When in fact, he became popular only because the women wanted to know how to get a high value man. They're like, yeah, we want that hypergamy. Tell us how to get it. And then he said, ma'am, you're average at best. You see how that works? So the women were engaged in participating in that. They wanted to do it. And then he tried to slap, he set them down, he set them straight, right? But that didn't stop him from wanting to do it. Here we go right here. Look, that's crazy. That's crazy. Anyway, let me get to these super chats. I got to get up out of here. It's damn near 3 in the morning, so I'm going to be sleeping in. But anyway, they're long nights here. Where am I going tomorrow? Am I going to 808? No, it's only Wednesday. I'm not going to 808 this week. No, I am going to this week. I'm going this weekend. I think I'm going to take it easy tomorrow. Take it easy. I think I'll just go down to soy 6. Let's see what we got here. I got super chats. That's what I'm doing. I got to unshare this screen. I got to minimize this fucking screen. This little ass screen. Let's see here. refresh this screen. I need an assistant. We have JC says, I got to disagree with you, coach. That bonnet piece lead be fire as hell. Don't judge me. I can't do it, man. I cannot fuck a woman with a bonnet. When I was in Panama, a woman tried to wear a bonnet in bed with me. I was like, and I snatched it off. I was like, But she had beautiful hair, man. Beautiful curly hair. But she was about to let me hit with that bonnet on. Nah, I ain't fucking a woman with bonnet. Shout out to our brother. It is Psy 54. Thank you, man. Thank you for your contribution. Iggy says the late, great Hugh Hefner famously paid for all of his quote unquote girlfriends, had them all on allowance. He says they were able to live for free at the Playboy Mansion and get all of their hair, makeup, nails, the JJ wax paid for by Hef, plus extra spending money, hashtag monetized dating. And I think that show with the 3 girlfriends changed American women forever. Okay, that was pre-Kardashian. That changed American dating forever. That was a big psyops that I think it was just as powerful as Sex in the City. But yeah, if you think about Hugh Hefner, okay, Hugh Hefner got young women, and he was a pimp. He ran a brothel. A lot of people don't want to talk about that, but that's what he was. But he'd been famously paying for his girls, and he had all the best looking flat back, breast implanted, young 98-pound blonde women he could deal with. Made them dye all their fucking hair, and he had a curfew on them too. They couldn't stay out past 10 o'clock. Why? Because he was paying for them hoes. They couldn't just leave the house and go party. So with that being said, guys always wanted to be a Hugh Hefner. When you find out he was paying for them, when you find out he was a pimp and paying for his hoes, what do I tell you pimps do? They got to pay for their hoes' maintenance. And then they'll tell you they're not paying. I'm like, how do they get panties? How do they get their fishnet stockings? How do they get their high heels? When you're keeping all the money. Okay, because you're supposed to be keeping all the money. Okay, how does she get her mini skirt? How did she get her romper? How did she get that little thing she shimmies out of to get easy access? Where did she get that from? The pimp buys it for her. So pimps be taking their hoes out shopping. Yes. Yes. You men don't have the whole situation where you think they just sit at home and collect money and play video games and smoke weed and they go. How do you think they get purses and shit? That little purse they carry around the hotel room, the hotel at the Caesar's Palace. Okay, the pimp has to take his hoes out shopping. I showed you a video of a pimp taking his hoe out shopping. Okay. But you guys don't know. I'll never take a bitch shopping. Okay, well, you like pimps, don't you? Yeah, I think the pimps got it right. Okay, he takes his hoes out shopping. Hugh Hefner pays for his hoes and hair and makeup and nails. Ooh, somebody said KS used to shout out the FBI and the CIA every day. New world order. I've never heard that, but wow. Bro. New world order. I mean, yeah. That is wild, but wow. Things that make you go, New world order. Oh my. That's heavy. I know it was an acronym, but again, everybody, they just acronyms, but yeah, I know, but wow, I know. New world order. My gosh. All right. So anyway, I know everybody's saying it was just an acronym, but again, there's always subliminals. So who believes in subliminal messages? Ill subliminals? You guys don't believe in subliminal messaging? I've never heard someone call that out. Goodness gracious. All right. Do I have ill subliminals? Goodness gracious. All right. That's an interesting observation there. I've never heard anybody else actually say that. But now that I think about it, because people, what are you going to say? I believe in the FBI, the CIA, the real one? No. Man almighty, mighty. Okay, anyway, that's some ill subliminals right there. My subliminals are meat. Yeah. Anyway. Shout out to our brother here. It is the Empire Podcast. Thank you, CGA. He says, glad to hear you say how great family is. Yeah, man, that gets lost in the messaging. Like a lot of things that I say get lost in the message. All right. The free agent lifestyle gets lost in the messaging. The whole concept of what I'm telling you, it's like philosophical Confucius gets lost in the messaging. Also, the fact that I am an advocate. I'm not anti-marriage. I'm pro-family. I just can't see family being great in today's time. Family is difficult, but I wish family was better so people can have families. Children are great. You know what the situation is not great? The fact that you get penalized and men get taken advantage of and made to be the villain in almost every relationship. In almost every relationship, the man is the villain. I don't like that. He was abusive. He was a narcissist. He was controlling. He was insecure. He would try to do this and he did. I don't like that. I don't like that women can just pull that card and then dip out and destroy families. Now, I also don't like the fact that y'all niggas ran around here for the better part of last week trying to tell me how white women are dangerous. When you had this nigga married to a white woman, cheating on that white woman with another white woman, hitting guts raw, busting nuts and cream pieing her, making her allegedly early terminate a pregnancy, then paying her hush money, then allegedly going over to her house without notice, and then saying that she ruined his life. And then now y'all have this story about white women being dangerous. It sounds like you niggas are the danger. It sounds like you niggas are the dangerous ones. What makes you think you were going to get away with that, bro? What makes you think you was going to get away with that? Okay. How y'all blaming white women on that? It's you. You know, the niggas don't realize you guys are your own worst enemy. The things that you do, the things that you purport to be the way the game is, you guys are absolute idiots. It's niggas that's the problem. You think this woman was just supposed to go for that in 2025, just being the side chick and the mistress while you parading your wife all in front of her ass? She's the problem. You think she wasn't going to be a problem later on? You didn't think you were supposed to put out that fire? You didn't think that shit was going to be an explosive situation? They all on the same team plane. Wife and family, mistress over here. You didn't think that was going to be a problem? At a moment of notice, that was going to be a problem, man. You knew that was going to be a problem. And then you got the nerve to have your side chick and your wife sitting together. Even if they both co-signed on that shit, that shit was going to be a problem later on. So my thing is, I look at how men try to portray themselves as a victim, and I'm like, you a victim of your own circumstances. The way you're out here playing with women and their emotions, like these ain't the most dangerous creatures that you ain't gonna deal with out here. When you play with women, you're playing with fire. The days are gone where we could just smack women and play them for a fool. Now, you can probably get away with this shit in Thailand and the Philippines and whatnot, but you not playing with these American women. Don't think you're going to just play with them and they just going to put up with it and they ain't got no way to get over on your ass. Okay. There ain't no way he's a victim. And I'm an advocate also of not cheating on your wives. Okay. Not to say that I would never have done something of this type of thing. Look, I can be not an advocate of something and be guilty of it. I'm just telling you that it's not a good thing. As a man of experience that has been married for almost 10 years, I would tell you to not cheat on your wife. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Don't do it. Now, I don't give a fuck what man rules y'all follow, what pro He-Man women's hater group you want to follow. Don't cheat on your wife. Now, I also believe that sugar baby relationships aren't cheating. Okay, so there's that. All right. But I would not engage in having side pieces and random renegade bitches on the side. I don't think so. That's unhealthy. You're asking for it. You're asking for problems. You don't want these problems. But if you go see a woman at the whole house, that's completely different. I'm talking about engaging in continuous relationships with other women, especially in close proximity to you and your family. You're asking for it. And when it comes back to find your ass, you're going to have to just deal with it. Take that L. That's my opinion on cheating. Take that fucking L. Don't go out here. Don't go. Somebody said, and not unless you're completely honest, which is if you're honest, it's not cheating. If you're honest about it, that's not cheating. I'm talking about if she thinks that you're monogamous and you're married and you go out and get some side pussy continuously, that's cheating. If she says, I don't care who you have sex with, that's not cheating. If you tell her, I'll be out at the titty bar letting these hoes suck on my dick for $300, that's not cheating. And she says, okay, go for it. That's not cheating. I'm talking about she thinks that you're not doing this, or she's going to be offended when she finds out. That's cheating. My opinion is don't do it if you're married. And then my next controversial opinion is this. It's not cheating unless you're married. Uh-oh. Unless you're married, cheating only counts if you're married. Boyfriend and girlfriend, that shit don't count. Fiance, that shit don't count. That you're not legally bound to that individual, so it ain't cheating. All right, now, did they do you dirty? Yeah, they did you dirty. You were auditioning this woman to be your wife, and she cheated, and she went out and stepped out and had some other niggas on the side. All right, I don't think that's cheating. She just failed the audition. She did you a favor. Next woman up. Yeah, girlfriend and boyfriend ain't cheating. She just failed the audition. Next bitch up. All right, she couldn't toe the fucking line. She was hot in the ass, or she was auditioning multiple niggas and convincing you that you was one of one and you were one of many. She just failed the audition. Next woman up. But in my opinion, there ain't many women that are dating monogamously anyway. Now, there's half the men that are dating, not even dating monogamously. Most women are dating multiple men all the way up until you get an engagement to her. I'm hitting y'all with super duper facts. Most women are always dating multiple men all the way up until the fucking wedding ceremony. Now, that's a hard lesson to learn. And if they're not dating them, they're talking to them, they're keeping the tabs with them. There's a backup plan, nigga. There's a woman. There's a man that she wish she was with. Okay. There's the man that she's with and the man she wishes she was with. The man she wishes she was with, she's still given a chance while you're dating her and considering marriage. By the time you about to pop the question, she talking to this other nigga. I think he about to pop the question. You better get in here. All right, let me have sex with you before he popped the question. Let me have sex with you at the bachelorette party. Let me have sex with you last time before. The last nigga she got a call right before she marched down that aisle. I'm about to march down the aisle. Y'all don't want to hear this shit. Y'all don't want to hear this shit. Almost all women do this, and they won't even deny that they're doing it. Most women don't even deny that they're doing it. All right, that's what they're doing, and they feel like they have the right to do that. So, in my opinion, when it's a boyfriend and girlfriend situation, it's not cheating. It's that they both were still exercising their options as long as they possibly could until they got to wherever they thought they were going to get. So a woman thinks that you're finally going to commit and take her seriously, all right? And then you find out, like for instance, you're in month 6 to 8, and you're like, yeah, I want to take this seriously. I want to move forward, and I want to put you on an allowance. I want to do this. Dude, go back and find out what she was doing in those first 6 months, specifically the first 3 to 4 months. You're going to take back that commitment. You're going to take back that commitment. Go back, because you in month 6. You know what? I'm thinking of committing. Let's make this official. Boyfriend and girlfriend, Facebook official. I'm going to put you down. You can quit your job. You get an allowance. You get this or that. Blah, 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 blah. Go back and find out what she was doing in the first fucking 6 months. You'll take that shit right back. You're going to be like, wait, I thought we was one. I thought we was good. I thought we was, you know, you're gonna go back. Wait a minute. So that means all this time it's December, but in June you was doing X, Y, and Z. And she gonna be like, oh, it didn't count right then because we weren't serious. We were just messing around. We had just started. I had just broken up with my ex. I had just do this. I thought we were just playing around. I didn't think we were serious until month 5. Is that cheating? I'm not lying to you guys right now. Almost all women do that. Because it's just a matter of semantics at that point. It's a matter of when she thought you were serious and when she didn't think you was serious. Not lying to you guys. Now, you guys are going to be offended when you find out what the fuck she was doing in those first 6 months. You're going to be crazy. You're going to be like, what? You were cheating and you was doing this? And she was like, not really. Like, I was just thought you were just... Anyway. Yeah. Angry little dude says, judge gave me a child support order for $2,200 time to boss up. $2,200 of child support. Jesus. Rest in peace, man. But you got this, man. Boss up. That'll be chump change to you in about 2 years. Chump change. We call it chicken change. All right. Shout out to angry little dude. I can see why you're angry. I can see why you're angry. All right. That would make a brother piss the fuck off at the world. But we hope you now control that, use that energy to boss up. It's almost 3 in the morning here. I got to get up out of here. But we got like a couple more that I need to acknowledge. Okay. There's nothing more on the Venmo. Keep your head up, man. Keep your head up. And a lot of guys, again, all men pay. It ain't free, bro. There's always a payment attached to women and kids. Kids aren't free. Nothing in life is really free, to be honest with you. But, you know, I don't even know why people keep proving that. Oh, well, I'm going to get it for free. I'm going to show you. Okay, go. Knock yourself out. Okay. You the type of nigga that go to 5 grocery stores just to show me you save some money. Okay. I save money this way and I get it different than that way. Kayla says, a man who has money and can pay for everything can be monogamous if he wants. However, he should be the one dictating the sex in the relationship. When women dictate sex, it only benefits them. A man dictating better benefit both in relationship. Yeah, the whole dictating sex. I don't think women, you know, do a good job of being monogamous sex partners. They started controlling you with sex, and I don't like it. All right, but that's just me. Streaming service says that a friend of mine just came back from Dubai and said that she loved it, but I would never marry a man there. When I asked why, she said because the courts would grant all the child custody and money to the male heir. He says men are in love, women are in business. It's boss up or cost up. That's a strategic way for her to avoid unfavorable marital laws. So she said the reason why I wouldn't marry there is because the courts will grant custody of the kid to the male heir. She's like, I'm out of here. No brainer. It's not about love. It's all a business decision when it comes to men. And American women have the best setup scenario to finesse and finagle you niggas, right? All they got to do is make you believe that you're the only one in that pussy. And you go for it. Damn, we got a whole bunch of people here. Shout out to Key himself. He says, I'll pay a chick to lay, but I'll never pay a chick to stay. He says, that's a trick. I disagree with the game. Shout out to you. Yeah, and most of the time, if you pay them to stay, it ain't going to be long. They're gonna mess themselves up. CJ says, was out of town this weekend for work, and the hotel clerk was choosing. She brought me some extra towels for a fistful of 20s on her own time. He says, even though I put mouthpiece on her, I would rather just pay nowadays. No shame in the game. Shout out to the coach gang. Shout out to you right there, because you never know what her motives are. Leon says, young men, listen up. I increased my credit score from last summer to this summer from 550 to 640. I'm trying to get into the 700s by next summer. Shout out to you. Money Mindset member in the house. Money Mindset Steve says, Money Mindset had my 15-year-old son gaining interest in his own money. He says, I'll guide him to the free agent lifestyle, but going out death by sun will never be an option. I'm in my third quarter now, making long-term choices at my elevated risk level. Shout out to you, Money Mindset Steve. Shout out to your son for watching. Have you ever thought about doing a 24/7 live stream of your content? It may not benefit you, but I've seen a lot of content creators in studio running 24/7 streams. Well, here's the thing, man. Like, I thought about doing that, but only if I'm monetized. Like, I wouldn't do, and the difficulty is I would do it on Twitch because I'm monetized there, but I would get a smaller audience considering my YouTube audience. So what would be the point there? Like, if I was monetized on YouTube, I would do it, but I'm not about to sit up here and wait for y'all niggas to send $3 PayPals. Okay. All right. But if I was running up the motherfucking counter on the goddamn views easily. But I ain't about to sit up here waiting for y'all niggas to PayPal and wake up and brush your teeth to send me $3. You see what I mean? Like, a lot of you guys are trying to tell me to do shit what other content creators are doing. I'm not monetized. I can't do it. Right? It wouldn't even make sense. It would be donating 24 hours to stay up waiting for $3 PayPals. Like, fuck that. But other content creators that are fully monetized with their core audience on their core platform, with their numbers there, all right, yeah, it would make sense for me to do it with 2,000 people consistently running up the fucking tab. All right, anyway. But for me, it's a no go. Hell no. Shout out to Steve, says that Millie Mouth sounded like my ex who looked down on men watching prawn, yet read an extensive amount of smut. Which is, again, it's different. It's different. It's not all nasty like you. All right. Some women are just kind of inexperienced with life. You'll find that later on they'll pivot and grow up a little bit, but their growing up is going to be for their benefit, not yours. All right. They'll start getting nasty and shit. And you're like, oh, you're nasty now that I'm 47 and I didn't beat that roast beef curtain up. Yeah, they're nasty now. Anyway, he says, I didn't mean your live stream, but a live stream of your existing content. A live stream of my existing content. But yeah, it wouldn't even help me, even if I put my existing content out. Nah, I mean, dude, it would only make sense if I was running up the fucking score and the machine was running. But it wouldn't make sense for me to do it. It would just be for your own benefit, especially if it's my existing content where you're watching it. Oh, I already watched this. How are you going to donate to that? Again, most content creators, they're doing it for the money, and it wouldn't even make no sense for me to do it. It wouldn't make no dollars and no fucking sense. Okay. Anyway, and it would be a bunch of work for me to do what? I'm like, what am I getting from it? I can't do it. I can't do it. But anyway, nonetheless, shout out to the coach gang. I'm out of here. I'm going to fucking sleep. Peace.
And you're in the Desert Storm bunker with Hollywood CGA.
Yeah. Legends ain't born, they built from the grind. From benches to banners, we sharpen the mind. We sharpen the sword and promise and swore that we going hard and leaving it all on the floor. Hey, yeah, we going hard and leaving it all on the floor. Hey, yeah, we going hard and leaving it all on the floor. Legends ain't born, they built from the grind. From benches to banners, we sharpen the mind. We sharpen the sword and promise and swore that we going hard and leaving it all on the floor.